summarize if my thing will let me scroll. Come on, computer. You can do it. I have faith in you.
No.
Just let me scroll. There. Almost. Come on. You can do it. There we go. All right. Let's see. So last session ended up lasting like 4 days in game, 3 or 4 days, longer than usual. We actually ended on an in-setting holiday inadvertently. Let's see though. We sold off all the loot from the cultists that we didn't want. We got quite a bit of money. Uh, let's see. Uh, Rothgar swindled a smith, few smiths.
Yep.
Talked about where we wanted to go. Oh, Rothgar met up with his old shipmate, Doro,
Yep.
who talked about their personal history together and shared with Rothgar, who later shared with us that Rothgar's ship. First of all, we found out that it was because of a mutiny that Rothgar is not there anymore, and that it had run aground near Amon in the
Shade steps.
Yep.
yeah, Shade Steps. Rothgar was interested in going finding out more. Oliver was interested in going that way anyway, and no one else had any objections, so we decided to take a job clearing out bandits on the road in that general direction. Or rather, to go hunt out a bounty for it. We got hired as guards to transport goods along the way to Kymal, since that's where we have to return the reward anyway. Even though it wasn't the best paying option we had. We had an epic musical duel in the inn before we left. I believe that was the same day. Yes, it was. We left with the two halflings in the morning. Teeter and Isilra? I think I said that right.
Yeah, we'll say yes, because I don't honestly know how to pronounce half the names I come up with.
Cecilra and Teeter. We went for a day without too much going on. We had some horsemen come by who put us on alert because they were panicked. And then that night, when Geckel was on watch, a young woman by the name of Prime collapsed on the road near where we were camping. Geckel brought her over. We got her relatively fixed up. She told us her whole story about how her family and who she was traveling with were all killed except for her by the bandits. That she was taken as a captive. We figured out from her information that the leader of the bandits, Bloodhorn, was a Minotaur, which we should have admittedly figured out sooner, given the name. And that he was camped on this side of the bridge, and there were roughly 20 bandits waiting on the bridge for whoever came through. So we decided to go deal with Bloodhorn and hopefully use that as a bargaining chip or intimidation tactic to get across the bridge safely and deal with the bandits. Found him, failed to sneak up on his location, barely killed him and his two guard wolves after they noticed us without any casualties of our own. And we were about to start rummaging around and finding stuff when we ended the session.
Sounds good to me. All right. So everyone is here, correct? Tara, you said you were just eating and stuff, so we should all be good.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, in that case, so you guys have successfully taken down Bloodhorn. I believe Geckel was able to, or decided to take his head as a bit of like the proof that you guys needed to claim your reward in Kymal.
We talked about it a
Uh,
little.
Yeah, that, and I want to take his axe to intimidate the bandits.
Yep.
All right.
The giant
Ah.
axe.
So,
Ugh.
all right. So, I will let I'll say two of you, since you guys have a lot of people who are pretty good at investigating. So I'll say Alba, since you're roguish and probably are very good at it, and the wizard is also very good at it. You guys can either both roll, or one of you could roll with advantage to have a search around the rest of these ruins and see what's going on.
I have a +7 to investigation.
Same with me.
All right, well, I'll give you advantage
Whoa.
then.
Okay.
Can I roll hit dice, please?
If you guys want to take a short rest, you're more than welcome to.
Do we want to rest here, or do we want to go back to camp and then rest? I mean,
Well,
it just
to remind you too, you don't have a camp set up.
well,
The
right.
caravan currently is
caravan.
just like kind of hiding out in a batch of trees a bit of out off the road.
There's
Mhm.
an alarm around it.
Yes.
True.
So, for context, I have multiple direwolf holes in me at 4 HP. I would like to take a
Yeah.
nick.
Okay. I might
And
be
it's
able
also going
to.
to take you quite a bit of time to go through everything anyway. I mean, this isn't a very large ruin, but it still will take you quite some time.
As
Okay,
long as
then,
that,
yeah. So
as long as that's happening, Oliver would like to help Geckel get and anyone else get patched up. So I will use my Song of Rest feature.
So he gets
Everyone gets an extra 6 hit points. Anyone who spends hit die during the rest.
that's per hit die, right?
No, just once.
Okay. So
Really,
you'll get 40
it's not
HP
very
back.
good. It's better than nothing.
Okay.
Well, luckily,
So-
I managed to get back up to full just by spending hit dice.
Wouldn't that have only brought you up to 38?
Don't you add con to it?
Oh, I thought that was already added in.
No.
Okay, no, yeah, you're right then.
D12s, man. D12s. Wait,
Albert,
that is
not
already
the
added
best
in.
roll.
Oh, is
That
it?
is already added in. Yeah,
Oh.
looking at the stats on it.
Oh, yeah, the 4 times 5.
So- So yeah, take another 6 on top of that to a 40 healing.
So, Alba and Barnabas, as you guys are kind of not stumbling around, but going around, digging through stuff, there is a lot of scattered boxes here, many broken open chests. There's like a lot of just random stuff that it looks like, this is what the merchant was carrying. This is what they grabbed and brought back to him. So, like, if anyone wants to resupply for rations or anything like that, there is more than enough to do so. Same with you guys find some kegs of ale. You guys find some cases of wine and stuff. So if there's anything like that anyone wants, feel free to take some. Overall, scattered throughout the area, you come up with 21 platinum pieces and 313 gold pieces. I'm sure there would be a lot of silver and stuff, but I hate doing silver and everything else, so I'm giving you gold and platinum. You find a spyglass. You find a crate that appears to be locked. Shaking it around you, it sounds like there's something made out of either glass or maybe like pottery or something inside. You're not sure exactly what. Barnabas, as you're walking around helping her, something catches your eye. The head. How much does let's see.
Yeah, answer that question.
How much does a regular great axe weigh?
Well, the head and the
Uh,
great axe.
Well,
Oh, the head.
for a cow, the head usually weighs about 20 to 30 pounds. So since this is a magical creature, I'll say it weighs 45 pounds for the head.
Cool.
For the axe, well, how much does a great axe weigh?
1 second.
Pulling it up too.
Uh,
Got it right here. Great axe normally weighs 7
7.
pounds.
So we're gonna
So it
triple
would
it to
be
21.
Cool.
Oh, you're nice.
Well, I mean, the wood is the wooden or it's not like a very well made one. It's still like a wooden handle and everything. So it's mostly just the head that's a bit bigger that weighs more. So
Okay.
um so yeah, but Barnabas, as you're going around, you see a something that looks very familiar to you. You see a spell book just laid there, opened up, facing down, dirt in the pages on the ground in a corner.
I will pick it up.
Okay.
I would like to roll Arcana to see if there are any explosive runes on it,
Okay, go for it.
because that's what happens when you find spell books.
All right. Well, you rolled a 20, so that's good. So, it appears to just be a regular spell book. It just seems that the maybe the Minotaur couldn't read it obviously and got no use for it, so he just threw it into the corner. But rolling the 20, there's also something else that catches your attention near you as well. Which the other two of you completely looked past your first time going around, but now that you're focusing, trying to look for magic and stuff, there is a broom next to you that you kind of like just out of the corner of your eye, you catch like a little bit of runes written on the base of it.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, I will identify this later.
Okay. And I'm going to message you on Discord the spells you find in the spell book.
Okay.
I just thumbs up the screen like any of you could see it.
So yeah, I have a bag of holding, so we could literally start just stashing this loot if we wanted to.
Sounds
Is it
good.
really okay to take it? I mean, I know it's not okay for them to have it either, but it was someone else's, right?
Well, we can always drop it off at Kymal.
Of course.
True.
Plus, I very much doubt we wish to put the head and the giant axe in the bag.
And then the last thing that you all find, and actually Alba, it is you who finds it. There are like some it looks like maybe like not noble clothes, but it definitely looks maybe like high end commoner clothes. Like they look well made and stuff. And just like kind of padding through them, you find a letter that is in the chest pocket of one.
Yeah, she will read it.
Okay. As soon as you open it, it looks it looks fine to you. You can read it, but you know no one else would be able to because it is actually in Thieves' Cant.
Oh,
So I don't know how Apple will be. I can show just you the letter, or I can just show it to everyone.
now you can just show everyone.
I think we've had this question in other games, but I don't know that I ever really had an official ruling on it. Does comprehend languages, would it work on Thieves' Cant? I don't need it, obviously, but I just didn't
Think so because doesn't it specifically say in
So-
comprehend languages that it
It
does not
specifically-
decipher things?
Yeah, it doesn't decipher codes. You can just read the words, and if Thieves' Cant is like accurate to what we talk about as like Thieves' Cant in the real world, it would be like coded common, effectively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would just be like strange combinations of words to mean something else rather than like a
yeah.
different language.
It would look like reading like a grocery list or like a completely normal message, depending on which like iteration of Thieves' Cant you're talking.
Cool. I'm just curious. It's not applicable for now because obviously Albin can read it, but
Is there any like identifiable things on the clothes?
On the clothes,
Mm-hmm.
well, you were just patting around. I'll say you go ahead and do another investigation check at like to research the like those clothes specifically. I will say. 1 second. Let me see this.
Alba and Barnabas need to open up a private eye.
Yep.
Detectives here with our +7 investigation.
Okay. You do on the inside, like the under part of a collar. You do see a very small, in kind of it's darker clothing, and the thread that this is stitched with is it's kind of similar to the actual clothing itself, so it's more hidden. But you do see a symbol that is stitched in, which I will post again into Discord because fuck trying to describe that.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, it's very small, and you kind of assume that it's meant to be hard to notice. You can go ahead and do a history check with advantage if you want. You recognize it as a symbol of the clasp.
Yeah, she would just relay that to the others as well.
So that I mean, like I said again, there are other rations and all that kind of stuff, like the common stuff that are there as well. But as far as like stuff that caught your eye, you found all that, and then you have the crate that appears to be locked, and that's pretty much what you find there.
Yep. Can Alba check if the crate is trapped, and if not, unlock it?
What was your first investigation that you rolled when? Yeah, it does not appear to be locked. I'm sorry, not appear to be trapped.
Okay.
You could do your thieves' tools. Oh my god.
You gave her gloves that make her even better at it.
Yeah. But yes, it works. You pop it open, and as you open it, you see 6 potions that are kind of packaged in so they don't move as much, and it looks like a rope, but it is a strange color of a rope. You've never seen one like this before. It's kind of bluish. You don't know exactly what material it's made out of. Maybe some sort of silk or something. But you do find 6 potions, 4 of which you already know what they are. 3 of them are regular healing potions, and 1 of them is a greater healing potion.
And for the rest, she'll just be like, Bonnie, I seem to have found some possibly magic stuff.
He sort of just shrugs and like kind of motions for you to hand it over.
And she does.
Okay.
Also, can I get a short rest just so I can use Arcane Recovery?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are not
yeah.
like actually pushing yourselves, so you're absolutely fine to rest while you're doing the searching.
I really need a long rest because Arcane Recovery at this level only gives me 1 second level spell, but
It's better than nothing.
it is better than nothing, for sure.
Yeah.
And just to throw it out there too, I don't care if you cast spells, like if you're doing a ritual during the short rest as well, if you want to try to identify anything.
Yeah, I will do that.
All right.
So
Identify is an hour longer, right? Or is it 10 minutes?
Identify is
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah,
10
just
minutes for any of the rituals.
yeah, as a ritual is 10 minutes.
Okay. So then you would be able to identify both potions. Yeah. So So the broom, I mean obvious, extremely obvious, is that.
Yeah.
The 2 potions that you did not know what they were. One is a potion of growth that pretty much once you drink it, you roll a 1d4, and you have the enlarge spell casted on you for that many hours with no concentration needed. And the other is a potion of maximum power. And the effect is when you drink it, you have it'll be in your system for 10 minutes, and the next time you cast a damaging spell, instead of rolling dice for damage, it does full damage.
Fun. GM, what was the monetary amount?
All right, the money was 21 platinum and 313 gold pieces found scattered about the entire area. And actually, Alba, go ahead and roll an Arcana check. Quick question: what did you give to Barnabas? Was it the potions or was it the entire crate?
The entire crate, including
Okay.
rope.
Yep. Barnabas, rope is actually magical too if you want to cast Identify again.
Yep.
And you now have this as well.
All right, I will keep the broom, but I will offer the rope to whoever wants it.
Who wants an entangling rope?
Well, I'm fast enough that I don't require my enemy to stand still, but if someone requires that, they could use it. Oh, so I did get a whole lot of magical items. And she
Oliver,
just grins.
perhaps you can hang on to it.
I mean, if you guys want me to, sure.
Go ahead. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Right.
So as you guys are sitting here having your rest, I'd say maybe about an hour and a half has passed since you like at the end of your rest. It will be an hour and a half since you have left the caravan. It is maybe getting to be late afternoon at this point. You could probably still travel for another 3 to 4 hours before it gets to be dark outside. So, rest is done, everything is identified, and you guys are sitting in the empty ruins of what used to be Bloodhorn's pretty much hideout for now. So, what do you guys want to do?
I think Barnabas probably fell asleep.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Well, we did say we
perhaps
were going
we
to
should-
head back.
Yes, perhaps head back to meet up with our caravan here, make sure they're all right.
It would
Oh,
probably be a good idea so they don't worry about us.
Or just run off without us.
That's my thought.
That too.
I'll pick up Barnabas while we head off.
And put him on his new broom and drag him around.
I'm not too sure how it works yet. I'll just carry him.
All right. So, you guys are able to make it back to the road. And looking over to where they pointed out that they were going to be staying, you do see a bit of just like probably a campfire's worth of smoke exiting through the top of the tree. So you're pretty sure something, at least someone is still there.
Well, looks like they haven't run away just yet.
Perfect.
Oddly enough, as everyone would get close enough to the camp,
Yeah.
the alarm would actually wake Barnabas
Mhm.
up because it's not a concentration spell or anything. It would just go off.
Mhm. Yep. And I'm gonna guess that not everyone would have remembered anyway. So, yeah. Barnabas, out of nowhere, you're having a nice little nap, resting after a fight, and you just hear this ringing in your ears that makes you sit up and open your eyes really quick, like, oh my god, something happened.
yeah, he would startle awake and sort of like, everyone, get ready.
What? What? What?
And he sort of like slowly looks around. Oh,
You're still moving. You're not where you fell asleep, and you are pretty much over the shoulder of Geckel.
Had a nice nap.
I've had better.
You've probably had worse as well.
As you guys are approaching, you see the female pop out with a dagger in her hand, ready, like looking ready to fight, like her eyes darting all around, and the man is nowhere to be seen. She kind of pops out and she goes, "Where? Watch out! Where?"
It's all right. It's just us, right?
We're back, madam.
But he said, get ready.
We're back and successful. No need to worry.
She kind of nods and puts the dagger back into like a slit in her belt, and turns around, looks over her shoulder, and goes, "Honey, you could come out." And you see the husband start walking out, and he has like leaves in his hair. It looks like he had jumped into a bush to hide, and he kind of comes out like dusting himself off and just goes, "Oh, yeah, right. So everything's good." And he's kind of looking around. Geckel, where do you have the head?
The head is dangling by a string by the waist, and he's got the axe over the other shoulder.
And as soon as he's saying, everything went well, he kind of sees it and he goes, "Okay, right then. So you were successful."
Of course.
We said we would be.
Right. Well, he kind of like tries to regain his composure, like because he realizes he was showing that he was impressed, and he kind of goes, "Well, still have what did the woman say? 20 more bandits on the bridge. We'll see how that goes, but good job."
Well, they should hopefully give up after seeing their leader's head, and he'll dangle the Minotaur head, and swing a giant axe at them.
He kind of nods. He goes, "Right. Dear, let's get everything back together. Get the horses." And she goes and gathers the horses, hooks everything back up to the cart, and you guys are ready to continue traveling. So you guys went off the road about right there. So you have about another. You can make it to the bridge by nightfall. You could probably get onto the other side of the bridge and camp if you want to before it gets to be nighttime, depending on how the bandits react to you all. So, the cart is all packed back up, horses tied to it. You guys are moving down the road again. What do you want to do? Do you want to continue on to the bridge? Do you want to rest, like have a long rest and sleep the night before you get there?
I wish we had thought to ask who was amongst the bandits. Going in at night could be a problem or help, depending.
Well, for some reason, I don't think the Minotaur was going to be giving that information to us.
I know. I mean, we should have asked Prima.
If given what we know of them, they were just as scared of this Minotaur as anyone else. I think if we're cautious and show up and talk with them, we might be able to talk them down. Perhaps just press on, see if we can get past the bridge.
I hope they're willing to just walk away.
That's not any fun.
Maybe,
Well,
but we should at least try to not get into a big fight.
Of course.
Because our persuasions have gone so well so far.
Never go searching for a fight unless it's justified. But always be prepared to go into a fight.
If we're facing off with bandits, I'm pretty sure that they've probably done something at some point to deserve it.
We'll
We
see.
can't know that for sure.
Oh, because
Well,
they're probably you're right. They're probably very nice people. Just trying to help out their families, of course. And Barnabas just kind of walks off.
Well, we know they have already killed.
but we know they've done so under the orders and duress of this bad horn fellow.
But they had the choice. They could have just run away.
We'll see.
So, you are all continuing down the road. It's not getting dark yet, but you could tell that the sun is starting to go down. You do see the bridge in the distance, and there are no carts that looks like it's getting across right now. It looks like no one is coming nor going. So, continue on and go up to the bandits, or rest for the night.
I don't know, what do people want to do?
I
Try
trust.
and continue.
I say continue on, and we can, whether we cross the bridge or not, it really does not matter. Either way, I have a feeling either way we're going to be dealing with the bandits at some point. Yeah.
I
This
suppose. I suppose one thing is, are you magic users all fine with possibly using your magic at this point? Do you have enough?
I still have some. Maybe a little less than half or so.
We'll make do.
Then I say we go for it. Might as well get it done.
Very good.
All right.
All right. As you are approaching, at probably about another 100 or so feet until the bridge, the cart that is traveling with you comes to a stop, and the guy just goes, right. Well, we'll wait here, and best of luck.
Thank you very much. Be safe.
As you guys are walking away, you hear him kind of turn the cart around just in case anything goes wrong. We're out of here, and you guys continue on to the bridge.
He has zero faith in us.
Maybe Barnabas, before we head out, one of us could set up an alarm again around them just to assure them not to run off.
Well, they're okay. Yes, that all right. I was gonna say you'll be able to see them from where you're walking to, but yeah, if you want to make sure they're not leaving you, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, take 10 minutes and I will ritually cast alarm.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So you guys all walk up, and there are two bandits that approach you, both females, and they are a half elf and an elf, and they both have short swords drawn in one hand and a dagger in another. There are others you can see that have bows and crossbows out, kind of still just watching you. None are just aimed straight at you right away, but they approach you as you're walking up and kind of just, right. I'm sure you've heard by now. We have a toll. Going to be needing to pay 50 gold, or 50 gold for the cart and 10 gold per person. And still, pay up or fuck off.
I think you might want to reconsider.
I take the head off my waist and throw it at their feet and slam the axe down.
Roll an intimidation check with advantage. They kind of look at it and kind of recoil a little bit and just Right. Well, and the one who's been talking kind of just turns, whispers something in the other one's ear, and walks back. She goes, "Moment," and walks back towards the bridge, and uh, about a minute later comes back walking up with a he looks like a older dwarf who has a very, very large crossbow in his hands, and he kind of approaches, and as soon as he sees the head, he just nods to her and goes, "Yeah, that was him. And he's dead." So, uh, what? And he kind of looks at you all, and he goes, "What? What do we got to do here, huh?"
I suppose leave or die.
Right.
At
Well,
least be seriously maimed, of course.
Alba, go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Nope.
He kind of just chuckles a little bit. He goes, "All right, now, you killed the leader, but there's many more of us. So let's not be hasty with that. We could come to an agreement here. Uh, to be fair, most of us don't really want to be here. We weren't getting much pay. Everything kind of went to him. So, in a sense, we appreciate what you've done, but we need a bit of something. We can't just leave. We need something to go back home with."
Who are the ones who killed?
He kind of looks around, looks behind him, looks back at you, and just with like a half crooked smile, he goes, "No idea what you're on about."
One of the women who got away informed us. Try again.
Uh, are you trying to intimidate or are you trying to persuade him? Whichever one it is, roll it.
Yeah, they're both as bad as each other, unless I can somehow use strength as an intimidation vote.
Nope, you're talking at the moment.
You know what? Yeah, no, not on this one. If you would have said that for the first one, I would have said yeah, because it kind of like was a feat of strength to even be carrying that axe. But yeah, for right now, it'll be still charisma.
Well, let's see how my massive +0 goes.
Pretty good, actually.
He kind of looks around.
Yeah.
All right. He goes, all right. Relax, relax. Now, I honestly don't know who done it. You talking about the one who the one who we brought to her escaped?
Yes.
Right. Well, I don't know who killed their family. There was obviously they were on the other side of the bridge. They were coming this way, so I can't tell you who done the killing, but he kind of like he looks uncomfortable suggesting this, but he goes, "How about we let you all go through? We pack up, get on out of here, and we just both go our own separate ways. Don't got to go reporting any of us. I mean, let's just we'll call it even. We'll let y'all go right past, no payment, nothing like that, and we'll get out of here."
I believe you should pack up. We want to make sure you're going to leave.
He kind of he kind of looks at you and goes, "Mate, none of us really have any reason to stay here now. It was for a bit of work. The employer is no longer alive to pay, so not many of us are going to be staying here."
Of course, we just wish to make sure that you're gone. So, if that's the case, we'll cross the bridge. We will, seeing the time it is, perhaps set up camp and expect you to be gone by the morning.
All right. Well, uh, I ain't no leader here, but I can tell you that I'll sure be gone. He kind of looks over his shoulder at the two women and he goes, "How about you two?" And they both just nod.
Very good.
I would appreciate if you talk to your companions before you leave and try and find out who the ones who killed.
He nods. He goes, "Wait, to be honest too, we don't really all know each other, and it's not like we're a tight knit group. We were all hired from separate places, but I don't really see anyone snitching on anyone else around here. Maybe it happened. I highly doubt it, though."
Ask anyway.
He nods. He slings the crossbow back onto his shoulder, kind of spits on the ground, and he just motions with his head for the women to go back and just, all right, we'll be out of your way. Let me go let everyone know that you're going through and we're all heading out.
Very good.
Thank
And
you.
they both walk back towards the bridge. Or actually, all three walk back towards the bridge.
All right. Well, I'd say that went all right.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Barnabas looks disappointed.
Well, I suppose we should have our nice compatriots cross the bridge. We can set up camp and rest for the night. We'll, of course, be taking watch as we do.
So, you're able to wave them down and let them know it's okay to continue. They look rather scared and they're being extremely cautious, still realizing that yeah, they said we're going to go through, but they're all bandits. As you're going through or I'll say, I do know that Barnabas was on the back, so you could roll for the back a perception check, and whoever is going to be walking up front can roll a perception check as well.
Well, I was going to be walking with the giant axe in one hand just to make sure none of them get any ideas.
Okay.
So unless anyone else wishes to make the perception check, I can.
I think we're equally bad at it or average at it, so go for it.
Okay.
Oof.
Just kind of walking through, you don't really hear or see much going on. Being at the front, everyone is kind of like quiet as you're approaching, and then you hear some whispers as you're like moving past, and you notice everyone kind of just moves out of the way. But Barnabas, hearing like sitting in the back and kind of just listening, you do hear some whispers of like that they're the ones who killed Bloodhorn, and we got to get the fuck out of here. You hear the majority of people at least kind of somewhat conversating about getting out, and it's not a fight worth fighting right now. There's not enough money in it for them if they were going to try to kill the people who were able to take down Bloodhorn, and you get the idea that they're going to be leaving. It is a pretty big bridge. It takes about like 10 or so minutes to walk across the entire bridge. But you do get to the other side. And it's probably about the sky is that nice orangish pink just as the sun is going down. So you don't have much time of daylight left. You're probably able to get about like half a mile away from the bridge before it's time to set up camp.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to go too far in the first place anyway. I want to make sure they're checked, left by the morning here.
Well, I mean, you
Agreed.
are still on the plains, so half mile you can still see the bridge easily. You can you can't make
Very
out
good.
who the people are, but you can still see like figures moving around and stuff.
All right. Well then, perhaps we'll be setting up camp here then.
The two halflings hop on off the cart. set up a tent and stuff like that, tie the horses to trees, set them up with their food and stuff for the night, and they don't really conversate much at all this night. They both just go to bed and are not seen for the rest of the night.
Yep, I will be first watch, I suppose.
You could go ahead and roll perception.
Awesome.
By probably halfway through your watch, you notice that a lot of them have started walking in your direction, but then all just broken off. They're not like traveling in groups or anything. It looks like most of them are starting to scatter.
Gotcha.
There are another handful of them that you could see. Like, you can't see all the way to the opposite side of the bridge, but you did see some disappearing off into the distance going that way as well. Other than that, relatively quiet night. There's not much traffic because of the current bandit problem, or the old bandit problem, I should say.
Very good.
Yeah, if anyone wants to do a second watch, go ahead and roll perception. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you guys don't even got to. It's going to be a pretty quiet night. No, there's no ambushes by them. They seem to be pretty damn scared when the head and stuff was thrown. So yeah, they're gone. By the time you all wake up, the bridge is completely clear. No bandits in sight.
Oliver will do a third watch again so we can have food ready for everyone from all the rations we just grabbed.
Yeah, easy enough. Everyone wakes up to the smell of Oliver's cooking.
Well, it seems they decided to not be here when we woke up.
Yeah.
Well, I know last night I saw quite a few of them scatter about. I would like to at least head back and make sure no one's decided to be a little brave.
I agree.
Might as well
If
just get a couple of us to go double check.
yeah, if they didn't actually leave, then I can't imagine anything else that would make them stop. So, uh, yeah,
So you guys want to just walk back towards the bridge to make sure everything's cleared out?
Oh yeah, I just want to make sure that not a few of them didn't decide, money making scheme was pretty good actually.
Okay. I mean, you guys get back. No one. I mean, go ahead and roll perception just in case. You guys really don't notice anything. It doesn't look like there's any signs. You do see a lot of tracks leading off, but you don't see any signs of any remaining bandits.
Very good. Well, suppose we can finish our delivery then.
yeah.
So, you guys are now on the western, pretty much in the western half of Taldore. You have about another, I'll say, 3 days of travel before you're able to get to Kymal. You'll probably be able to stay in the Silvercut Crossroads the second day. But yeah, so is there anything anyone wants to do while traveling?
At some point, Alba will just be like, "Is there anything we can do about that head to make it stink less?"
Do you have any
Ugh.
perfume?
I
Uh,
I can do a little, but it won't last.
Out of character, would it fit through the hole of the bag of holding?
How big is the hole?
I'm not sure. Let me check here.
Is it Minotaur head sized?
I'm pretty sure it's the size of like a messenger bag. So
Yeah, it's
Is it
like
2
the
feet?
usual size of it.
let's see. I
2
have it
feet.
here
Yeah,
somewhere.
2 feet in diameter is the mouth. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, if it
Right.
can fit 2 feet, then yeah. Well,
Yeah, you
to
know
be
what?
honest,
Yeah, it will.
if need be, I'll just kind of take the bag out. Keckle, if you will.
Sure. And I'll put the head in the bag then.
There we go.
Right.
It is technically a vacuum, so yes.
What?
Oh yes. A vacuum is a space where no air exists.
So
You
like
you you don't.
underwater or
No. Water's there as well. Not a vacuum setup. No air, no water, nothing. You will not be able to breathe no matter what here unless you bring it with you. Actually, a fine trick my mentor taught me at one point was we had used some water potions of water breathing to hide in a bag. It was a pretty great way to bring what amounts to essentially a fish bowl for our heads, and we put water in it, and it was astonishing. I'm getting off the point there. The point is, the head will be fine in there.
okay.
All right. So, during the second day of travel, it is somewhat cloudy. It looks like some bad weather may be heading in. Um, you guys, about midway through the second day, it starts to rain, and you hear thunder off in the distance. But you are, if you continue traveling, you can make it to the crossroads before nightfall. And I mean, most of you, probably not Rothgar and Gecko, but the others of you know that the crossroads is not really like a settlement or anything. It's kind of more of just like a pit stop. There are some like small markets there that sell like the basic goods and stuff like that. There's not really taverns or anything, but you can have a safer place to set up camp and stuff like that. So you do think you'll be able to, well, you do know you'll be able to make it there before nightfall. So are you guys happy with getting there and then staying for the night?
Yep.
Because
Seems like a fine idea.
you could probably go another 2 to 3 hours if you wanted to, but the weather does look like it's going to be rather shitty.
No, I'd say make it to the crossroads if we can. Little bad weather's no real problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah. As you get there, you are pretty much at the intersection of the two most traveled roads in Taldore, the Silvercut roadway and the Wildwood byway. Um, there are a good amount of caravans here at the time. People just kind of bartering, trading here and there for basic goods. Not much money changing hands. It's more like, like I have silk and I need some food, and it's kind of like that kind of stuff. You get inside, or you get there. There are a few spots still open to set up your camp for the night. Um, as you're setting up camp, everyone go ahead and do a perception check.
No.
And
Wow,
Alright.
we're just doing great.
Yeah, you hear the thunder rolling in. You hear loud cracks and see bright flashes every now and then. Barnabas, you are the only one that notices, and you can't really make out every detail because you didn't roll that great. but during one of the flashes of lightning, you look up, and in the clouds, you see the outline of a very, very, very large flying creature. Not sure exactly what it is, but it is massive. And it is flying. It is flying mostly in this direction, going up to mostly north, but a little bit to the east as well.
So I will try to get everybody's attention. See if anybody's paying attention.
Apparently, none of us are, but
Well, this is true, but
Well, once he points it out, you guys kind of look, and you do see. I mean, it does continue lightning. There is a storm going on, so you guys don't get as good of a view as Barnabas did, but you do see a very large winged outline in the sky that is traveling very, very fast. Within 3 minutes, it's gone from it. You saw it a little bit to the south of the crossroads, traveling up this way, and within 3 or so minutes, it is completely already out of sight up to the northeast.
Oliver's kind of local to here. Have I heard anything ever about something like this? Like, does it ring any bells of like what it could possibly be that would be
Roll a history
local?
check.
Would I have heard of anything that flies through storms?
Ah,
Everyone
Nope.
go ahead and roll a history check if you want to. Actually, Gecko, yours would probably be with disadvantage just because you're not from this continent.
I rolled a 7 then.
Oh my god. Can Alba save it?
Uh,
All right. Alba, this is something that you have heard about before all the stuff happened with you. The last time you heard of anything like this was the Chroma Conclave. What, like, the first thing you think of when you think of like large creature very fast flying through the sky is dragons. You were not able to make out the exact outline, so you're not sure, but that's what your mind jumps to. I mean, maybe not a dragon, maybe a wyvern or something like that. You do know that there are large bird creatures that can be like that as well, but you're not sure how fast they are at flying. The last time you heard of anything like this was during the Chroma Conclave.
Yeah, she would relay that.
oof. I hope we
And I
do
will
not
say,
have
Gecko, as a Dragonborn, you do, well, most of you, even without being Dragonborn, would know there are
Mhm.
dragons who thrive with lightning.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, obviously. Hope there's not another conclave brewing.
I don't know, that conclave was 1 in a million. I don't think it's that possible for another group of dragons to appear like that.
Very good. Well, yes. I know it's
And
a bit.
it is also common knowledge, not all dragons are like evil like that. There are very
course.
benevolent dragons as well. So
Oh, of course, of course. Huh.
Shall we set
Well,
up camp then?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, would anyone care to inform our neighbours of the bridge's new occupants
Good
being
point.
none?
Good point. I can let everyone know. I am straight up gonna start telling tales.
hey,
How we vanquished the horrible bandit leader, Bladehorn.
Go ahead and roll persuasion, and you definitely do hear a couple of times like, he must be fucking joking. It's Bloodhorn. He's lying, and but you are able to tell the story. So let's see how they do believe in you. Most of, like, a lot of people do start talking, and you hear them. You hear a few people who are obviously merchants. They're very nicely dressed. Start talking about opening up their caravans again. So the word's getting out there for sure.
Oh yeah, and I suppose for good measure, I can show a few of them the head if need be.
When you do that, the first person you show it to, vomits. It's rotting at this point. Um, it smells from very far away. You can smell it,
Oh yeah,
and
it's like
it
every
looks.
time. Yeah,
Yep.
every time I take it out of the bag, it's awful. But then I put it in the bag, and it's back in a
Mhm.
vacuum. So
Yep. Yep.
it'll
But
keep for as
but
long as we need.
the shock of it coming out of a bag and just the immediate stench. The first person you show it to vomits. If you continue showing it, there's probably about a 50% chance they're going to puke too.
Very well. I'll just keep it light, and it's like if anyone just gives me a hard time, that's when I'll pull it out.
Fair enough. But yeah, you are confident that the message is out, and knowing that most of these people are merchants, you're pretty sure they're going to get the word going too around like
Uh,
everywhere, all the major
awesome.
cities.
Awesome.
So, while he is out spreading the good word that Bloodhorn has been defeated, what is everyone doing at the camp?
We'll have the camp set up, and while it's still a little thundery outside, Gecko will go out and practice with his greatsword.
Right?
I guess Alba would join Gekul if he wants a sparring partner.
By all means. I'm just trying to get more accustomed to how it swings, its weight.
Well, that might be for fun against someone that can actually swing back a bit and block.
Easy.
Let's try not to kill each other, but by all means.
Right? So they're off doing that. Barnabas, are you high or sleeping?
I think that he would be sitting at the fire, smoking a little bit, but just sort of going over the spell book that he got.
Ooh, just doing some wizard fun.
Yeah, you're easy enough. Oliver, anything going on?
After that sighting, Oliver would probably spend the evening move down towards where the road heads south from the crossroads, just kind of watching the skies and the road and absently thumbing at, but not actually playing his lute.
All right. I mean, just looking around, uh, as it has gotten rather late, it's already dark out. There's not much travel going on the roads right now.
Mhm.
No other flying creatures aside, like you see regular birds and such.
Nothing unusual visible to the
No,
south.
no,
Okay.
no. Everything looks rather calm. Um, it's kind of actually soothing and relaxing. While the thunder is still rather far away, it's kind of light at the moment. You know, the rain hitting around it. It's nice to hear the calmness.
Hmm.
But again, the storm is far away. It is still coming, so you are assuming the weather is going to get worse. But no more dragons, which is a good sign.
Hmm.
So,
Ah, yep.
uh, is there any conversations or anything to be had before you guys all go to bed?
So you
Um,
got yourself in rather the predicament fighting the Minotaur the other day.
You're talking to Alba?
Yes.
Yes. That can happen when you run into a corner. That was something that I used to not do, something that I had to relearn a bit, but survived.
Well, it seems we're all slightly off how we should be.
Yeah, I think that you did pretty good. Going after such a big foe like that, you were surrounded in all ways.
Maybe, but the best I could do was draw their attention. It's unfortunate that Bloodhorn cornered you.
It's fine. Things like that can happen in battle. You can't exactly predict everything.
True, but hopefully we won't get trapped in a corner again.
Yes, hopefully. Definitely won't make that mistake twice.
But thank you for the training with me. It's been a while trying to adjust.
Of course, I do enjoy it myself. It's not like I spent the days that I was dead actually doing anything.
It's still a curious thing to say. I'm sure one
Curious?
day you'll explain a bit more, but for now, as long as you're alive, that's all that matters.
Yeah, not much to explain more than dead for 70 some odd years, and now I'm here.
Oh, my apologies. Should I be calling you grandmother, Alba, then?
I really hope not. If you do, I would, perhaps try to sneak around you and stab you in the back. That would be most unfortunate.
I shall keep that in mind.
Yep. Barnabas is the only grandpa here.
Yes, well, luckily you don't show your age. Or
Thank
your
you.
or your decomposition. Nope, that's not the right word.
That's fine, I understand what you mean. And yes, I am also glad that I'm not decomposing right now. That would be very terrible. I can't even stand that head in the bag.
Yes, rotting flesh is an acquired taste, apparently.
Apparently, I just hope that he stops trying to make the people around us vomit.
Oh, we should let him have his fun. He likes to boast.
That's true.
But, yes, we should get back. It's raining a bit too heavily now.
Sounds good. And thank you for some fighting as well.
And yourself.
All right. You guys are able to make it back to the camp easily. Is anyone doing anything, or is it just lights out, time to sleep?
Oliver would stay up for a tiny bit, penning letters, but otherwise, yes, sleep.
Rothgar Barnabas?
He's going.
No, I
Barnabas
think
is
I'm
sleeping.
gonna set up my tent and do my nice little alarms and stuff like that.
Sounds good. So, uh, it's a bit of a loud night with the thunder and stuff as it has gotten closer, and by the time you wake up, you're kind of in the middle of a pretty severe thunderstorm. Um, Everyone wakes up. The two halflings look miserable. It appears that their tent might have a hole in it because they look soaking wet as soon as they exit their tent. But they quickly gather everything. The woman looks at you all and says, "Well, if you need to resupply or anything, they have a few little stands over there. Other than that, we're going to be ready to leave within the next 20 minutes."
Very good. And mind if I take a look at your tent for a moment there? I might be able to do something there.
Sure. It's just a bit. We don't have the materials to patch it up now, but yes. And she brings you over to it, and you see it just looks like it's an old tent. It just wear and tear. It doesn't look like it was damaged recently. It looks like it's been there for a while.
I'm just. Is it mendable?
Oh yeah.
Let's just fix it up then.
She kind of her eyes kind of open a little bit wide. She goes, "Oh, very kind of you. Thank you."
It's no worry, no worry.
And Barnabas will sort of, as he's walking by and seeing them kind of wet, he'll sort of absent-mindedly just cast prestidigitation to warm their clothing for them. But he's not
They
going to make.
notice.
Yeah, he's not actually like paying attention to them. He
Mhm.
sort of walks by and does it and keeps walking.
Yeah, you kind of as Barnabas continues walking by, you hear a bit of a startle, like confusion, but it doesn't last long. It's kind of like just like a bit of a squeak, and then you just keep walking and don't think twice. So everything is
Oliver will
packed
make
up. Yep.
Oliver will make sure everyone gets food again, and then since they said there was places to pick up, see if he can restock.
We have plenty of rations. We just got a bunch of loot that was rations.
I just said 10 rations in 2 days on all of you people.
And we have how many now?
I don't know.
I mean, you could have you could have put a ton
was
in
all
your
I could
bag of
carry
holding
was-
if you wanted.
Yeah, that's like we were saying. We were packing the bag of holding with everything we could.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
also take into consideration, I can also supplement the rations as a wanderer.
That is
True.
also true. Yep.
Yeah. So don't worry about spending any money on it right now. If you're ever
Right.
going on like an extremely long journey, or if you're going somewhere that like food is going to be scarce, we'll worry about it. But on the main roads, especially, you're not really going to have to worry too much.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But Oliver, you do remember how long ago did you travel to Western? Was it a few months?
No, it has been like maybe let's see, including travel time, we're talking
Yep.
like 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. All right. So, well, you do remember that it is just under a day's journey between the crossroads and Kymal. So,
Mm-hmm.
leaving now, you will be there before nightfall.
Yep.
So, everyone's ready. You guys start traveling, and I will say that Oliver, you would know. Actually, let me get the name of this place. Oh, I lost it. Where did this name go? Come on. That the person who you were leader of Kymal, a man
Mhm.
named Jaktor Krishtan. He is he once upon a time was a very, very wealthy merchant who kind of came in to turn Kymal around maybe about
Is this the
70
man?
years ago.
I was gonna say, is this the guy who started the gambling facility and ended up being mayor? Is that what I'm hearing?
Not exactly.
Hang on a
Okay.
second. Someone's turned on their Discord camera.
Oh shit. How do I do that?
Okay. Yeah,
I think you're good.
Sorry about that.
Alright.
It's just I'll see someone's camera when they probably didn't want people to see.
Nope.
Hi, Dan.
Hey. Yep.
But no, it was more along the lines of, in the past there was no true leader of Kymal, and it was kind of overrun with crime. It was mostly just like gangs, mafia type things fighting back and forth for control.
Mhm.
The leaders were always extremely corrupt and sidewinding. It just very, very bad. But
Okay.
he came in with a, not like an army, I wouldn't say, but a band of people who were hired by him to return somewhat law and order into Kymal. And he found the best way to do it was by giving people other outlets for their aggression. So there are casinos now. There are fighting pits. There are brothels. It's pretty much Vegas now. So
Mhm.
it's not like he came in and just did it with money. He came in to do it in order to bring a bit of order back to Kymal, because it for a few years, probably. How old is Oliver?
Youngish. We're talking like 20, maybe.
So probably like maybe 70 to 80 years before you were even born, it was very, very bad. It was like Kymal was not somewhere that that the average person would even travel through for fear of the crime there.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was very bad. He came in, and while it is still kind of like sleazy and that, it's nowhere near as dangerous as it once was.
Okay.
Um, so the people there love him. Like he is a very well respected leader. Um, I mean, some of the other large cities kind of look down on it because like they see it as like just a kind of shady place that's gambling but the people who do are from Kymal are big fans of him.
Absolutely. Oliver will be happy to share any of this information with a little bit of extra spring in his step to anyone who wants to ask about it.
Yeah, Alba would ask and be like, "That's so funny. Last time I remembered, it was quite terrible, actually."
Well, the a lot's changed since the before you died, right? I'm sorry. I feel like I must be misremembering that.
That is the leader's name, just because I
Thank
probably
you,
butchered the pronunciation.
Jacques.
Good.
Ah,
Yes, as I was telling Gekul, it has been 70 some odd years, so things are probably quite different. My
well,
apologies if my tour of Westrun that far back was a bit outdated.
I can understand the mix-up there.
Seems like a
Kind of,
fine place to me.
it certainly is. But yeah, he. I can't imagine he'd be that hard to find. He tends to be a bit of a celebrity around town, so it shouldn't be too much trouble at all to get a reward for this.
Perfect.
Well, we
So
shall leave the directions to you then.
All right.
you
Oliver.
guys follow the road to the south. um After maybe 5 hours of travel, in the distance you start to notice that the terrain becomes less and less even, with the plains turning into rocky foothills. You start to see the outline rising up into the on the horizon of the Iron Seat Ridge. It's a small mountain range, and built atop the foothills is Kymal. Uh, you approach and notice that there are walls up with gates, as most larger cities have. And you begin to approach. You can see the guards there, but on the outskirts of the city, you see the remnants of what Kymal used to be, and that is actually what it used to be far before it was overridden with crime. Um, as you're approaching more and getting closer to the mountain range and such, you do
Oh,
see
I can tell
old.
him.
Ooh, what?
I can tell him.
Oh, go for it.
Uh, Kymal used to be a mining town a
Hmm.
long, long time ago.
Hey,
Gold mining, and once that dried up was kind of when all the trouble started. Until the until Jokshur came and kind of took over leadership. The mines are still all up there, though they're mostly boarded up and empty. Um, Sometimes people still go out there looking to, children's stories, haunted tunnels, things like that. But ah,
So as he's
sounds
saying
like
that,
a good time.
and you guys look around, like pretty much as far as you can see, with like quite a bit of distance in between them. But you do see mines that appear to be boarded up. That have, it looks like signs, and from what Oliver is saying, you're just assuming they're signs of like "do not enter," all that kind of stuff. Um, But you continue on. You arrive at the gates. The the guards kind of just check the goods in the carriage, and open to let you guys in. And as you enter, uh, you begin to walk through what appears to be a kind of low class residential area. Um, it looks like this is where most of like the people probably who are just workers at the casinos and stuff like that live. Uh, Oliver, your family's tavern would probably be right at the end, like right kind of in between the like prominent, like tourist attraction area and the like the they're not slums. It just looks like regular housing. So you would kind of be you're kind of right in the middle of both. So you would get visitors from both
Mhm.
like sides. Um, so your family tavern would be up ahead of you, but yeah, you begin moving further and further into the city, and it's very noticeable when you kind of they're not really districts, but the change happens in the city where it goes from just pretty nice houses or some lodges and stuff like that, couple shops here and there, and then very stark difference to where it's just large buildings for gambling, and there are multiple casinos, there are many taverns and brothels, there are uh actually, Gecko, something that might interest you, off on the side of the street, there is actually just a not even like a dugout pit, it's just like a big area where there is stones circling around on the ground, and there are just people in there fighting with full weapons, everything. You As you're walking by, you see them dragging what appears to be a lifeless body away, and Oliver, you do know that there are people here that, if agreed upon, will fight to the death for the right amount of money or glory.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So it is pretty much, you want it can be found here at some point, probably.
Nice.
So uh
Oliver
you
will
do
give
know.
the arena the healthy birth, but
Mhm.
still excited.
But yeah, as you walk further in, people are starting to look more well dressed. They are entering gambling establishments. There's people coming and going from everywhere, loud talking, laughing. It seems as if everyone's having a good time. So the decision for you all, well, I guess the decision, Oliver, for you to make. Do you wish to stop at your family tavern, or do you want to continue on to get rid of this head first?
Oliver desperately wants to stop at the tavern, but isn't quite that selfish and is going to instead ask the party. So, should we go drop off the head first, or maybe we could find lodgings and stuff now while it's early still, so nothing fills up?
Can I insight check him?
Yeah. And you could roll persuasion or actually, you don't even have to roll it. I don't think you could fail.
I literally can't
Don't think
fail.
you could. Yeah. So no. Yeah. It sounds like he knows what he's talking about. There's a lot of people here. They might sell out of places to stay.
Well, what would you recommend?
They like to go to the inn but I know
Let's
that getting
go
rid of
to
the
the
head is
inn.
important, so I trust you guys.
Calm, calm, Oliver. Let's go to the inn.
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay.
Well, it's like
All
your
right,
head
And
was about to
as
explode.
oh, okay. Well, it is still technically a family tavern. I'm
Just wanted
assuming
to
you
make
guys
yeah.
stay there.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
is residence as well. I just wanted to make it clear
Okay.
before we got there.
All right. Yeah. No worries. So, you guys are walking towards it looks like it's much nicer than the tavern that you had been staying in Western, because you're assuming it's made this way to also attract the higher end clients from the actual people who are just visiting here with their money. So you approach, and
As we get close, Oliver will like half jog out ahead of the party a little bit and like turn around and be like, "Welcome to the Wayfarer's Rest."
Of course, yes.
This is the
and
tavern you worked at?
Yes. Well, my mom works here. I grew up here. So, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be cute.
And as you guys are approaching, it appears to be a 3-floor establishment. The main floor being mostly the bar. There is an area for performances and for those who wish to dance. Um, the second floor, Oliver, you would know is where most of the rooms are, and then on the third floor, uh, is where your family would have lived, as well as like the other people who own the tavern.
Mhm.
It was kind of split into like you guys got like a third of the area, and they got 2/3 of it.
That makes sense. It was just Oliver and Mom.
hmm So you do know that. But as you guys are approaching, uh, the storm has started to die down at this time. You no longer hear the thunder, but it is still lightly raining, like a light drizzle. Um, and you guys see people coming and going from the tavern, and you approach, you get in, and Oliver, you look around. It's
Uh-huh.
pretty packed. You
Mhm.
obviously recognize the barkeep.
Mhm.
Um, and what is your mother doing to perform?
Lute playing and
Very good.
storytelling.
Well, at this time, she's not telling much of a story. She
Yep.
appears to be there are a lot of people who are having a rather joyful time. It appears. You're not sure exactly what they're celebrating, but there are many people up dancing and stuff like that. So she's kind of sticking to playing the lute, and there is actually Uh, you would have seen him a couple of times. He is someone who travels from area to area playing, but there
Mhm.
is a actually a half orc who is there also playing instruments. Right now, he is playing the drums. You would recognize him as someone who has come through once in a while. Um, his name is Gorak. Uh, but he always plays and he's always been rather nice to everyone when he's been there. It's kind of just like a traveling performer.
Awesome. So I suppose I should say, for the benefit of everyone else, the lady playing the lute is also a tiefling of similar coloration. She is also a Levistus tiefling. Oliver is very excited and is just going to try to like wave at her and get her attention from the door,
Wow,
not
that's just
like actively
unprofessional.
disturb.
All right. I'll say your mother's been doing this a very long time. She
Hmm.
notices you, gets a
Hmm.
huge smile on her face, and just kind of nods, motions her head over to like go to the bar, do what you got to do, and
Hmm.
you are assuming she will come speak to you when she is finished.
All right, guys, come on. We should get rooms and stuff. And Oliver will book it right over to the bar.
Do you have a name for the bartender?
I do not. Whatever you
Okay.
want.
All right. Do you have a race in mind?
Nope. Literally,
Okay.
Mom is the only
Okay.
NPC I hate.
My name's Dave.
Not that boring. Uh. All right. His name. He is going to be a I'll say a middle-aged, slightly balding human man, and his
Hmm.
name will be uh,
Winstonius. Oh no.
Fren Marshtide. Uh, he is, like I said, he's somewhat balding on top. He kind of only has hair on the sides, and it goes down into a very nicely kept beard with no mustache. It's kind of like it resembles a thicker Abe Lincoln beard.
Oliver will just hurry right over and wait, like excitedly but patiently for you know
Okay.
the
Uh,
it to
he
be their
he's
turn.
he is currently behind the bar by himself. You do know that there are a handful of other barmaids and other bartenders who come and help every once in a while, but since it's not exactly nighttime yet, it's
Hmm.
him by himself right now.
Hmm.
So he's currently down the other end of the bar, but over the next minute or two, he makes his way over, and he doesn't even really look up at you. He kind of just, all right, what can I get you all?
I think we need some extra rooms, friend.
And before you even get his name out or anything, he kind of notices the voice and looks up at you and goes, "Oh, Oliver, you're back so soon."
Yeah, we had to come. Oh, first, I mean, I should introduce everyone. This is Friend. He runs the bar during the day and stuff. And Friend, these are the people I've been traveling with and doing things. We came here because we had to return a bounty, and we need some rooms.
He kind of looks, goes, "All right, rooms, no problem, none at all. Uh, how many of you are there?"
Uh, I think just the five of us, unless the
Oh no, the halflings are nowhere to be
yeah.
seen.
Okay.
They have
Oh,
continued on with their business.
okay. Yeah. Just the five of us then.
He goes, "Right. So you gonna be staying in your own place, or do you want a room too?"
Um, I,
It
I'll
would
buy
make
a room.
sense to stay in your own room, Oliver. Keep your money.
Yeah.
He kind of looks as Alba's talking and gives her a bit of a wink, and he goes, well, "Not to mention, we only have 2 rooms available."
Oh, absolutely. Then, of course, I wouldn't want to take up any space if you guys don't have it. Sure. I'll stay with mom.
He nods. He goes, "Right. So that's 4 of you left. 2 rooms split. So a couple of you going to be bunking up with each other." And he just takes 2 keys and puts them down on the bar in front of you. And he goes, "Of course, family discount for Mr. Oliver's friends here. You'll be paying half price. It'll be 1 gold per night."
Thank you. I can pay that. How much nights do you think we'll be staying here? Like night or two?
I mean, that's up to you guys, I guess. I don't know what else we need to do.
Wait a minute.
So
Why not just pay for the 2 nights there? And if we need more, we can easily pay again.
Perfect. And she
that
will put the gold down.
that'd be all right, right, friend?
He goes, "I've known you all for a very long time. I'm sure that I have nothing to worry about. So yes, however you wish to pay is fine with me."
All right.
He kind of is looking around and he goes, "So, bounty, you say? I didn't know there were any bounties coming from Kymal at this time. What do you got?"
Uh, we dealt with the bandits that were out on the road to Westrum.
He kind
What?
of like looks. He kind of like looks up at the ceiling, kind of obviously just thinking, and he goes, I do remember hearing a bit about trouble on the roads, but I didn't know it had gotten that bad."
I I mean, I should say that they mostly did it, and I was there, but still, like it. Yeah. So, uh,
Oliver's being just a little humble. He was quite an asset in taking care of their leader.
Yes, the Minotaur.
I've
Yes,
never seen
broken one.
Oliver so discolored.
He's kind of looking, and he genuinely looks impressed. He goes, "Oh, well," he goes, "Oliver, not to be mean. I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but when you said you were going to be going out to adventure, I thought you'd be back in a couple of days. I didn't expect you to be coming back a couple of weeks later and saying that you've been killing minotaurs. It's impressive."
Thanks. Um, I didn't do that much, but uh,
Well,
yeah.
before you continue, you feel 2 hands on one on each shoulder, and you hear your mother's voice whispering, "Killing minotaurs."
Oliver's just gonna turn right around and give her a big hug immediately.
She gives you one as well, and she kind of like as she's hugging him, you guys she's kind of eyeing you all, like not like in a bad way, just kind of taking everyone who's with her son in, and you kind of see her like patting around all over the place. You don't know if she's like just patting his back or if she's checking if he's injured or anything like that, but she's definitely checking to see how he is. And after she kind of grabs you by the shoulders and pushes you, not pushes you back, but forces you back a little bit to look at
Mhm.
you, and she kind of just, "All right, well, is this the group that you've been traveling with?"
Yeah. Did you get any of the letters I had
Oh
sent?
no, yes, I've gotten the letters. I'm sorry I haven't been writing back as much. It's been very busy here lately.
No, it's okay. I honestly, I didn't want you to worry, and I know that moving around would be hard too, and just oh,
Mm,
there's so much to talk about.
mm. She nods. She goes, I do recall some of the letters. Something about a hag and now a minotaur. She kind of looks at you all and she goes, "Have you been getting my son into trouble?"
I wouldn't say we're getting him into trouble. More going on adventures as he sought out. And don't worry, we're making sure he's just fine.
And he's gotten us out of trouble plenty of times.
That too.
Yes,
And you can see the look on her face. She has a smile, like she's happy to hear that you have actually been successful in what you have wanted to do.
Mm.
yes, your son is quite capable, and he's quite the talented musician. I assume he gets that from you.
She has a smile on her face and she goes, "Well, to be honest, he never took much playing took playing all that seriously. He was always naturally talented, but he could have always been better. But it appears that maybe his path is not what mine was."
Well, it takes time for everyone.
She nods and she goes, well, yes, Oliver introduced me to everyone here.
Oh, right. So, everyone, this is mom, or I mean, my mother, Callie. Uh, Mom, this is Alba and Geckel and Barnabas and Rothgar.
She nods and shakes all your hands accordingly. And she just goes, "Well, uh, it seems that Oliver here is going to be having you all as a part of his life for now. So if there's anything any of you need from me, feel free to ask."
Of course. And no worries, we'll make sure he stays safe as he goes about on his quests.
As you're talking about her, she kind of looks at you. She goes, "Are you not uncomfortable in all of that armor? You could take it off. You could have your room upstairs."
I'll consider it. Have you heard of the Iron Dragon?
Oliver, has your mother always been in Kymal, or did she come here from somewhere else?
She probably would have come here at some point.
Okay. Do a percentage die. High is good for you.
All
She
right.
has not heard of the Iron Dragon.
Ah, well, if you hear by chance any of the stories of the seas, Grand Pirate Rothgar the Iron Dragon.
She nods and uh, I haven't been on the coast in quite a while. Mostly it's been here, so I'm sure if I traveled there, it would be hearing great tales of your accomplishments.
Yes, yes. It's a bit of a symbol in a sense, you see.
Well,
So, what are you all planning to do? Are you going to be staying here for a while, or just stopping by?
I'm
Mostly stopping by.
We will be here at least a few nights before possibly heading out.
we have something to drop off for the Margrave before we go. So once we can find him, that'll kind of determine it.
She nods. She goes, "Well, he's probably down at the center of the city hall. Uh, he's been spending most of his time there. There have been many new faces around, so making sure everything stays in order.
Right. Well, we have to talk, but we should do this, really, shouldn't we? Now that we have rooms,
I suppose we should.
I can show you guys where that is.
Very good.
Yes, I would very much not like to keep carrying around this giant axe. It is relatively heavy.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. All right. Uh, we'll talk soon, okay?
She nods and leans in, gives you another hug, and kind of just pats you on the back. And says, "Yeah, handle business. I'll be here all night."
All right.
And as she says goodbye, she heads back over to the stage and sits down. And it's just been the half orc playing for a bit, but as she gets back up there, she seamlessly intertwines with him and just continues playing the lute along with his drums.
Before she heads up, I'm going to touch her lute and give it nice background music setup like I did Oliver.
She kind of gets like a surprised smile on her face and just goes, quite the trick you got there. I've never seen it before.
No worries. It's just a bit of extra while you have it there.
Appreciated.
All right.
To the town center, I guess. Well, I can't. It's not really a town. The city hall.
Yes.
Well, I think two places. One, we need to go to the town hall, and the second is we need to meet up with the caravan again.
Yep.
Yes, you do. Well, I mean, over the time that you were traveling with them, you know that they are delivering the liquor to one of the rather high end taverns in the gambling district. It is called. Is it? I write down so many names for stuff like that just so I don't have to look like make it up on the spot. So I have a list of like higher end ones. It is called the Golden Glory. You know it as not the nicest tavern in Kymal, but it's definitely in the upper echelon of taverns. It's very very nice there. Very expensive to stay, very expensive to even drink there. But it's in the center of the gambling area, so the people who are there don't really mind paying it.
All right. Oliver will slightly reluctantly leave the Wayfarer's Rest and then lead them there without other incident. Still just playing the happy host.
Okay.
All right.
Where do you want to head first?
Head first.
Head first. Okay. You're able to make it to the town hall. You do see that they have boards there as well, where the bounty is still posted. They have other caravan job stuff like that, just the basic work board postings, and you guys are able to enter into the. It's nowhere near the largest building you've seen around. It's kind of small actually in comparison to the casinos and such, but it's still very nice. As you enter, it is a very large, pretty wide open area with pillars holding the ceiling up in every so often. And there are 3 desks that are lined up up against what would be the back wall, each in front of a door. Oliver, you would know that the door on the left is where like the person who's in charge of security for the city, like his office basically.
Mm-hmm.
The one to the right is where the person who, pretty much like the city planner, I guess you could say, the person who decides what goes where and everything like that, like just pretty much city planning is. And then in the center is where Jack Tor's office is.
All right. Oliver will lead him right up to the middle one.
Very good.
It is a rather younger elven woman who is just sitting there, and as you all approach, she has a very welcoming smile on her face and just goes, yes, can I help you? Are you here to see Mr. Krishtan?
Uh, yeah, we're here about the bounty for the bandits. Here in Western.
She nods. She goes, right. Are you here to accept a job or to complete?
Complete.
Right. Well, in that case, you are not going to have needed a reservation. So, please follow me. And she stands up behind her desk, pushes her chair in, and walks back towards the door. She knocks and slightly opens the door and just says, "Wait here for one moment, please. I'll tell him you're here." And she walks in. About 2 minutes later, walks back out and just opens the door wide and gestures for you all to go in.
Very good.
This is important and slightly nerve-wracking enough for Oliver to let someone else take the lead again.
I'll head right in.
Okay. Yeah, you go in and it is he's a not young, I'll say young adult man. He probably in his like mid 30s. Very handsome, very well kept, very nicely dressed, and he looks at you all and just well, hello everyone. I hear you have some good news for me.
Indeed we do. Your bandit problem is no longer a problem. And
He goes,
their leader is dealt with.
right. Well, not my bandit problem. It was the entirety of Taldore. But that aside, the proof, please. And he kind of is looking around and he sees you, Geckel, with the axe, and he goes, well, that is a bit of proof, I would say.
I'll put it down and just look to Rothgar to take the head out.
You might want to block your nose for the next bit of proof.
Oliver
Yes.
is just going to preemptively start casting prestidigitation to try to at least tone down that smell a little bit.
You see Jacques Tor, he kind of out of a pocket on the chest of his doublet, he pulls out what appears to be a tissue and just like flicks it in the air a little bit and holds it over his nose. Like he is extremely flamboyant. He is like over exaggerating all of his motions and movements.
Oh, he's gonna have a fun time then.
But yeah, he holds it over his nose and kind of pinches his nose shut.
Yep. Very, very well. And I'll take it out.
As soon as you take it out, all you hear is, right, put that back. Back in the bag, yes. It does not need to be out anymore.
Of course. Yep. There we are.
Right. Yes, you have obviously done the job. So, let's see. What payment did I post? And he's looking at you all to answer him.
I believe it was 500.
Right. Well, that's no fair. There's 5 of you. Let's double it. 200 gold each.
Why, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Don't. You can call me Jacques Tars, please. No, sir. It's very uncomfortable to hear that.
Right, of course.
Right. So, job well done. Here, I will make sure that you're paid on the way out. So, Western, you say you came from?
Indeed.
Right. Well, how are things there? Have there been any other problems aside from the bandits between us and them?
Not on the road that we found, at least.
Very, very good news. So, I must get back to work, but I do appreciate it. The people of the land owe you a debt. So, you will be paid on the way out. Just any kind of motions towards the door. Uh, she will be able to help you. Like, he doesn't say her name or anything. It's just she and kind of like motions. So, again, my thanks, but I'm a very busy man.
Of course. Oliver will
Goodbye.
immediately start seeing himself out.
Is there anything pocketable here?
There's a lot of things. There are nice little trinkets all over the place. Um, you see some very small bottles of what looks to be very nice liquor. There are many things that would be pocketable.
Just gonna.
Well, Oliver, you do notice, but not that only you notice. The Jacques does too, and he goes, "Right, 100 gold for that one. Put that down."
Oh no, wasn't going to take it there.
Oh,
What
yes, you were. Don't lie.
what is this ale here?
Mine,
But of course, what type?
my favorite. Goodbye.
Oliver just looks aghast.
No, it's just, of course, I just, where, you seem a man of fine taste. Where could I, locate such a thing?
Okay. He actually rolled a 21. So he is just going to look at you and just say, 50 gold for this one. Goodbye.
Sorry, I cut out for a second there.
Yeah, I rolled for him. He rolled a 21. And he is going to look at you and just say, right, 50 gold for you now. So, goodbye.
I'll just put my hand on his back and start leading him out.
Sorry about the strange one. Goodbye.
Uh,
So sorry. Thank you again. Sorry.
And he's no longer really paying attention. He's just continuing writing stuff down. As you get out, the woman is actually taking gold out of a chest and putting it into a bag. She gives you guys 850 gold. She's not splitting it up between you. She just gives you the gold. So how you split is completely up to you. She gives you the chest, and she just has a piece of paper in front of her, and she just turns it to face towards all of you, and she goes, right. Well, are you all an organization, a guild, or will you be signing individually?
Just sign us as the Gilded Blade.
Right. Very good. All right. And if I could just have one of you give your mark here, so that way we could have it all settled that you have been paid.
Here you are. And she just signs.
Okay. She nods, pulls the paper back, and starts putting it away. And she goes, "Well, good day."
Good
Oh,
day,
yes.
You as
thank
well.
you.
and for your trouble here, and I'll just hand her 2 gold.
She kind of looks at you. She goes, "I appreciate it, but we're not allowed to take tips."
I see.
City workers and all, servants of the people, not really allowed, but appreciate it.
Barnabas will walk by and grab the 2 gold from her hand.
She looks a bit confused, but just kind of shrugs her shoulders and smiles at you, Rothgar.
Very good. Well,
You guys are
I
back on out.
suppose- Yep. Suppose, yes, we can split the gold there, and I'll take my 2 gold, Barnabas.
Yeah, consider this a penalty for being a moron and stealing things from people who can give us money.
I was trying to steal from a stuck-up person who was treating a bit troublesome there.
Who
But
gave
yes,
us extra gold?
Yes, gave us extra gold and then treated his person as if the help.
Isn't that what she is? She gets paid to be the help.
Uh,
Mm. You know,
Rothgar,
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, yes. But I suppose we're done here. There is a caravan to catch up with, I suppose.
yeah,
How much money did we get from before? Did we split that?
we haven't split it up yet. I
It's
don't
still
think.
in my bag. No.
It was 21 platinum, 313 gold.
Yep. And yes, if suppose yes, we can split that loot here as well.
And now, I'm assuming the next stop is the Golden Glory.
Very good.
And I just realized when I said that how it sounds, but it is actually not the Golden Glory. It is the Gold N Glory. So as you guys approach, this tavern is easily triple the size of the one that Oliver is from. It is. It's a bit too much, honestly. Like it kind of looks gaudy to you. Like it looks like it's trying too hard to be high class, and it's a bit off-putting for you all. But the people who are there seem to enjoy it. You guys, you do see the caravan. You don't see either of the halflings, but you do see the caravan is around the back side of the building, and there is currently some workers taking off the goods and bring them into the building. So you can either approach that, you can go into the front. What do you guys want to do?
Probably approach people unloading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you approach, there is one person, a woman, rather attractive, half elven female, who is just standing there with a clipboard in her hand with a piece of paper on it, and she is marking off stuff as it goes by her going in. And she kind of like she doesn't move her head; her eyes just dart up as you all approach, and she goes, "Can I help you?" And she is continuously marking off things as they go by without really looking at you.
Yes, we were the ones who were the guards for this delivery.
The fire pike tired us to bring it in.
I don't understand why you're here.
We're looking for the people, the caravan master for payment.
Oh, right. Well, I think that they're inside. The small ones, yes.
Correct.
Yes. I believe they went inside. If they weren't the ones delivering, I don't think they would have been allowed in with how they were dressed. But yes, you should be able to find them at the bar.
Thank you.
And no other acknowledgement. She just continues doing her job.
Well, to the bar it is then.
As you're approaching the entrance, there are, I mean, I guess they would be technically considered bouncers outside. It's just like security for the building, and they look at you all as you approach, and they put their arms out to stop you from going in. Right, you, and they point at you, Rothgar. They say, "Don't really want people in there that are head to toe in armor. So sorry, but you're not going to be allowed in."
Understood. Understood.
The rest of you, you can go in, but no weapons are allowed. We'll be holding them out here.
Very well.
Well, one of us can just go in, quickly grab the what is owed, and leave.
I don't have any weapons on me already, so if you guys don't want to hand them over, I can.
I think go on, Oliver.
All right.
They look at you. They go, all right, arms out, and they kind of just reach to do a pat down to make sure you're not hiding any weapons.
Nothing.
Okay. And they move to the side and let you go in. You see at the very end of the bar in the corner, with about 3 seats left of space between them and anyone else at the tavern, the 2 halflings sitting there enjoying a drink and a bit of food.
Go right over to him. Excuse me. Hi. We were wondering
Yes,
about.
yes.
Sorry to bother you. You're resting, but we were wondering about getting the payment for the travel.
The guy pulls out a pouch and just goes, we didn't think of it either. It's been a bit of a hectic travel, but
Yeah.
yes, it's all right here.
All right. Thank you. And Oliver will just take it and uh, have a nice rest here.
They kind of look at you with like a huge grin on their face, and they go, "Oh, we won't be staying here. The food is good here, but the prices are outrageous. We're going to be heading to back outside, set up camp when we're ready to head back out."
That makes sense. All right. Well, it was nice speaking with you again. Thank you. And
Yes.
Oliver will just duck right back out.
Yep. Quick enough. It probably takes him a total of like 2 to 3 minutes inside. As you get back out, it is starting to be nightfall. So you guys have a lot of money. You guys have, I guess, a few days to do whatever you want. What are you all going to do right now?
How much did we get paid for that?
I believe that one was 15 gold each.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing my math, and you don't like silver, we would all get about 290 gold apiece for everything.
I'll trust your math.
Cool.
It's 289.6, so it would, that's the silver that
Round it on up. 287 or
Cool.
whatever it was.
290.
29. There we go. So you guys are in the middle of a tourist trap, pretty much. What do you guys want to do? You could head back to the taverns. You could go to gambling. There were fights happening. There are many, many things you all can do right now.
Paper and ink.
Roll an investigation check. Let's see if there is shops around like that around here.
If Barnabas asks, Oliver will help, but he wouldn't think
Okay.
to offer either.
Okay. Well, just kind of looking around, there is like you do remember as you entered, maybe a couple blocks in as you entered, there was a bit of a like circle of shops, and one of them was it looked like a bookstore, which you are guessing might have ink. You're not sure if it would be the magical kind you're looking for, but as far as you remember and have seen so far, that would be your best bet being here.
Okay. That's what I will do.
Okay. I will say it's going to be closed tonight. You could go in the morning, no problem.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I think Alba's gonna turn in. Drink at the tavern.
Yeah, for tonight I'll be good there.
She's gonna see what she can spend on stuff before gambling it all away.
Yeah, probably
Yep, that
go
yeah,
to the tavern
nope.
and drink a bit as well.
Oliver will head straight back too.
okay. As you guys are going, everyone go ahead and roll perception checks.
We're not seeing shit tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
Gecko and Barnabas both do overhear people talking about a young dragon that was seen on the peaks of one of the mountains in the Iron Seat Ridge. it's mostly just talk about it was seen through the sky, and people say that the storm followed it and it continued along with it, and it's just mostly rumors, but you do hear them about a dragon.
Well, that seems to match up to what we saw the other day.
Do we care? Or is there something we want to look at, or just continue doing what we're doing?
I mean, we technically don't have a set plan after this, so if we wanted to look, we certainly could.
Well, as much praise as you all heaped upon Oliver in front of his mother, I don't really think he's prepared to fight a dragon.
Oh, not many are. Well, we can at least tell the others of the confirmation of what we heard, and they can decide for themselves.
Barnabas just kind of shrugs.
All right. And then with those perceptions, yeah, no one else notices. But I will just say, by the time you guys wake up, Oliver and Alba, you guys have both lost a couple coins that were in your purses. There are many people who are willing to pickpocket in these streets. Oliver, roll a d6, and Alba, roll a d6.
Yay!
Okay. Alba, you lost 6 gold, and Oliver,
Yep.
you lost 3.
Livable. Just
Whether
another day at home.
honestly, I don't even know if you would notice it with how much gold you have. If I don't know if you guys are actually keeping track of every single gold, so
I am
might be unnoticeable.
Oh yeah, no. Gotta rewind you. What bunking arrangements did we want? Since we only
Well,
have
you guys got 2 rooms for 4 people.
Alba would have just gone with Barnabas.
Yeah.
Very well. Geckle, I suppose we need to room together then.
Very well.
Can you keep a secret?
Depends on the secret.
He's actually 2 halflings in that armor.
I knew it!
He doesn't take the arm off. He is actually a construct.
No.
What was that homebrew class for fighters? 3 halflings in a trench coat.
Oh, that's a fun thing. Yeah, but no. Look, the Iron Dragon is a symbol in a sense. It's no one can know who is actually under the helm. Can you keep that to yourself?
If you do not wish for the others to know, then I will certainly keep it a secret. But I don't see it being an issue.
Very good. Yes. And I will take off the armor, and you see I'm a red dragonborn with a what looks to be cut off tail.
Naturally cut off, or
Naturally cut off. I mean, straight. It's been cut off. Like.
so you're just a normal dragonborn without a tail. Oh, you're nearly like me, minus the colour.
Yes. But this stays between ourselves, and I'll kind of change. I suddenly change, and I actually now look as if I am made of iron. Good night.
Good night as well. It'll just turn over and shrug. Oh, okay, sure.
Set up the alarm in the room and cover up in my nice bed now.
Fair enough. So we've been going for just over 2 hours. I'll take 5 minutes. I need to fill up water and stuff. And then I will be right back. We'll keep going.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, be right back, guys.
Okay, all I heard was that Hrothgar started to take off his armor, then I took off my headphones, so I didn't hear it.
Oh no.
That's okay.
Right.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Oliver doesn't know. I don't want to know. But
there
it's
you
safe,
go.
right? We're safe. We're good.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, it's just I am the Iron Dragon. I'll stay the Iron Dragon.
Okay.
But there's only 2 rooms available.
All I know is as soon as you started talking about like taking off your helmet, my mind immediately went to if Hrothgar is secretly like a half elf who's just been using the variable stats to pretend to be a dragon. I'm going to laugh my ass off.
I mean, just be concerned when the mind flayer tentacles come out the mouth.
Oh, geez, I didn't even think about that.
Well, we had that in that first game we played together, Rob, where we had a warlock who was pretending to be a wizard.
Yes, the joyful of I only cast Firebolt because that's the only thing I know.
Right, but it was like, and we kept questioning why. Because I mean, as players, we knew that she was a wizard, but the characters didn't. So
I managed to pull off once, convincing an entire group of players, not just their characters, but the actual players, that my PC was a different race than they actually were. That was fun while it lasted. You can make a half elf and a variant human look remarkably similar on a stat sheet.
Yeah.
Just shave the ears down.
And that too. All right. I'll be back too.
Yeah, so I assume Barnabas is going straight for the paper and ink.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say I blame you.
So.
Care to share what you found or keeping it a secret?
No. There's a lot of stuff in here actually. It's Ray of Sickness, Floating Disc, Unseen Servant, Alarm, Catapult, Invisibility, See Invisibility, Suggestion, Web, Tiny Hut, Sending, Non-Detection, Private Sanctum, Secret Chest, and Telepathic Bond. I can't even cast some of those spells yet, so.
Jesus Christ, there's a lot of spells.
Yeah, that's why I wanted all that money. That's why I was that's like 2 gold is, I'll take it. I'll take 2 gold. I need it.
Well, if I win some during the arena fights, I'll lend you some.
I only know one of those spells already. I know Alarm, but the rest of them are all new, so it's all about that paper and ink. I mean, time.
Yeah, you got extremely lucky with my rolls because I rolled specifically. Like, I didn't want to give a lot of offensive spells, mainly because I was taking it as a book from a merchant. So I rolled for them, and I was so surprised with how many were new for you.
Like all of them but one.
So if I make a bit of extra coin, I'll happily share it with Barnabas for his spells.
But I mean, the problem is that like at this level, I mean, like I can't have that. I can only have 7 spells prepared total. So it's like, yeah, I got all these awesome spells that I can only have a few of them active at one time. So,
well, that is wizard.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at least you can use the ones if you've got any rituals that are,
I know. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of super cool ritual. I mean, like Alarm and Identify are like the main ritual spells for me.
That's why I like having my wizard as a divination because a lot of those spells are rituals.
There you
Mm-hmm.
go. All right, is everyone back?
think so.
I believe so.
I think so.
All right. So, you guys, was there anything anyone wanted to do early in the morning? Or was there any conversations that anyone wanted to have before they went to bed last night?
Not for me personally. I probably would have asked when it's the best time to inquire with the arena, if anyone knew. But apart from that, nothing.
Everyone knows about the fighting. Well, Oliver, I'll tell you what you would know. You would know there are many different areas. The ones that happen on the streets are more spur of the moment type things. The more organized stuff actually takes place in the casinos, where there are people betting and fighters actually get paid for their fights. And it is actually legal in Kymal. If two people agree before a fight starts that it's going to be to the death, no one will be in trouble for the other person dying. So it's pretty much, if it's agreed upon by all parties involved, go for it. You're not going to get in trouble here.
All right. I mean, you can schedule ones with a lot of the gambling places around here. They have sanctioned ones that you can get paid, I think, to fight in. But there's also sometimes people just, it sometimes just happens, and as long as everyone agrees to the terms ahead of time, just uh, being in the right place at the right time, I suppose, in a sense.
Oh, it seems I will have a chance to practice my old trade before I came over here.
Oh,
Yes, I used to be an arena fighter in Wildmount, so I should be. I'm looking to apply my trade over here to get some renown.
suppose that explains how you got to be so good at it. Um, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Eh, If you don't mind me asking, Gecko, why did you want to be an arena fighter? Like, I just have a hard time understanding it, I guess.
Well, it was small when I left my tribe. I did jobs protecting caravans, merchants, and when I was in towns, I was able to gain reputation and better get my name out by participating in tournaments and arena fights. So that's how I lived.
I guess that makes a lot of sense. I never really thought about it that way. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's a few places around that you could go. When Oliver will name off the ones that he would know off the top of his head.
Well, like I said, most of the big ones are in the casinos. But you also have to have a bit of a name before you would even be considered for those. So the other ones, there are no real set places for it. Like like the area that you saw yesterday is normally just a space for a merchant to set up some wares, but no one was using it, and they wanted two people wanted to do a fight. People got around them and started betting on it. So it's kind of like, as long as you're not disrupting the flow of everything, you're going to be allowed to do it. So the only ones you would know, like, are always in the same spot would be the fighting rings at the casinos, but those are hard to be invited to.
I mean,
Hmm.
I'll try for a casino one and see if I can use my old moniker to see if that's famous enough.
And one last thing, we're going to do a bit of a mini time hop backwards. Gecko, in the morning when you wake up and you look over at Rothgar, you don't see a red dragonborn. Rothgar, you want to explain?
Yeah. You see.
Send me something in the chat once it's done.
Yep. You see a simple man, black hair, bit of beat up face. Human.
I will, while he's still asleep, I'll throw a pillow at him. Put on your face before you go out.
Thank
He
you.
technically still does have his face on, but you see through it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he gets the meaning though.
It's like you see just like a shimmer for just a second. It's like, yeah, no. Back to being what looks like an Iron Dragonborn.
Right. So, yes, now to continue back on, that is just what you saw in the morning.
Awesome.
So, you guys do have the rooms for at least this night as well. What does everyone want to do?
Okay, back.
Yep.
Okay.
Paper and ink.
All right, you go to the same area that you remember seeing this the shop in. Go ahead and roll another investigation check. Unfortunately, in that one, it is just a regular bookstore, but there is a shop across the way that catches your eye. You go in, enter, and they have ink that is not what you're used to, but looking through it, you do still believe it will work for what you want to use it for. It has arcane enchantments in the ink itself, but it's also a more herbalistic approach to it. With like, it's not just ink that has been enchanted. There is a specific way it's been made from the herbs and stuff. But you are still sure that it will work. It's just not what you're used to.
Okay.
So I don't know if Barnabas is like an old school like wizard only and is not up for using other stuff, but
Could
it is
not
different.
care less.
Fair enough. How much do you want to buy?
500 gold worth if they have it. They probably don't have that much, but
Yeah. I'll let you roll. Roll a D12. You get about 350 gold worth.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to do?
Yes, I have a few wares that I can sell now. Some travel rations and travel goods, some clothes and such, you know.
You are able to find general stores, everything like that, very easily.
All right, I'm gonna sell off some of the stuff we took.
All right. No one is willing to buy rations. Other than that, everything can be sold for half price.
Very good, and you didn't actually give us like straight numbers for any of the stuff, so.
Okay. I mean, you took like everything from there.
As much as we could.
Then I'll say you probably wouldn't have taken clothes because yes, I'll say you would have taken some of the weapons that were left over. So
Very good.
just instead of going through everything that you did take, I'll say overall you're able to sell about 90 gold worth of stuff.
All right, and I know you did mention kegs of ale. I'm gonna keep one of those.
Okay. Yeah. The stuff that you got, it is nowhere near as good as what you guys were guarding in the caravan, but
Oh yeah,
it's ale. I mean, it'll get you drunk if you drink it. So there's always that.
very good.
Okay. So that is Barnabas and Rothgar. I know what Geckel wants to do. Alba, Oliver, anything?
Alba might just look around in a magic shop, see if there's anything interesting.
All right. All right. Well, there's not just like an all-encompassing magic shop. There are like herbalist type shops that have some sort of potions and other concoctions like that. There are there are jewelry shops that may have some stuff with enchantments on it, but like it wouldn't be like you would go in and they would have all different magical items. It would be more like, you could go into a shop that has this stuff and see if any of it is magic.
Yeah, she'll go into like a trinket type shop.
All right. Standard. He actually looks like he might be a few years younger than Barnabas, but it is just an old human man who kind of just, he doesn't really pay much attention. He doesn't bother you as you're looking around. He just, when you walk in, he does, if you need any help, I'll be here.
Thank you.
And
I'll be sure to let you know.
all right. So, in a trinket shop, are you looking for anything in particular?
Not really. Just seeing if there's anything interesting, and if she happens to stumble upon like a spell book or something, then she would grab that for Barnabas.
Oh, roll a d10. Eight. Okay. Okay, and give me one second. I actually have a different edition pulled up right now. Okay, a D8. You see a it is a ring. You notice, and then there is also something. It's a. It kind of looks like a. I don't even know how to describe this. It's like a head wrap, kind of. Maybe like a head. It's some sort of cloth material that you would wear on your head.
Like a headscarf.
Yeah. But just looking around and having been around Barnabas for so long and traveled and all that stuff, those are the only things that you even think may be magical in here.
Okay. She will just point to them and be like, "So, what do these do?"
All right. The ring is where is the description? Ooh, one more. It is okay. It is not in the compendium. It is the fuck. It is just a it is in here actually. Ring of It's a ring of mind shielding. I'm trying to just find it so I could give a description. There. It is this. I tried typing in Ring of Shielding instead of Ring of Mind Shielding.
Hmm.
That's important.
It's the one that looks like a brain, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. She is uncomfortable with the whole dying caveat, so what's the other thingy?
There we go. This would be a better way to describe it. The other one, it's like a circlet, but it's not made out of any sort of metal. It just kind of it's cloth adorned with like a couple different gems, and it is. Let's see if this one is in here. It is. It is a circlet of blasting.
That's good.
That is good.
That seems fun. So how much is the circlet?
He kind of looks, holds his hand out to get a closer look at it, and from in one of his pockets, he pulls out what are probably the thickest pair of glasses you've ever seen. And he kind of looks at holding it up very, very close to his face. He goes, I've had this for quite some time. I'll say I could let it go for 400 gold.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
He kind of looks confused. He goes, really?
Yes, why not?
A lot of gold. Most people around here aren't interested in these type of items. It's mostly all spent on the gambling.
Well, I'm not much of a gambler myself, and I'd rather spend money on things that I can keep and have fun with rather than just gamble it for the possibility of getting more gold. And I did get some nice gold after saving these the merchants going across that bridge with the whole bandit situation and the Minotaur, etc. So I'm just happy to get something magical. It seems fun.
I did hear about the bandit troubles. I didn't know it was a minotaur. But very impressive. 20 gold off for you. So yeah, it's
Oh,
380.
thank you so much.
He kind of nods and he just, oh, of course, of course. I'm glad you can find something useful.
Then she hands over the gold and gets super excited about this circlet.
Okay.
By the end of this campaign, Albus just going to have a room full of random magic items.
Yep.
Yep.
And if anyone uses detect magic on her, she just glows.
And yeah,
With a
I
blinding light.
I absolutely hate. I don't know why, but I hate the style that is just a regular picture of it. So if you could find any sort of cool cloth headband, feel free to put it in there. Otherwise, I'll grab something for next week. But
Okay.
I absolutely despise the art for that. I don't know why.
Well, I despise the stupid wizard hats, and I looked, and there are like no cool wizard hats anywhere.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
The coolest looking
Absolutely.
wizard hat is the sorting hat from Harry Potter.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
All
the
right.
picture for the circlet of blasting is pretty lame, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I'd rather a headband of blasting.
It's very unremarkable.
Yeah. It looks like any tiara a girl will wear on her sweet 16.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alba, Barnabas are good. Gekla, so Oliver, what would you like to do? Are you going to
If
just be
any
spending time at the tavern?
yeah, if anyone asks Oliver to, he would accompany them, which Geckel, I imagine, might. But otherwise, yeah, he's just literally gonna like plain clothes it in the tavern, helping out and catching up with people.
And yeah, you do see some familiar faces coming and going. There are regulars who come and go daily, so
Mhm.
you're able to see some people you haven't seen in a few weeks. Other than that, it is as your mother said. It's been very busy there lately. You notice that there is larger crowds earlier on in the day than normal. but it seems to be benefiting. She's doing very well. She's been saving up money and stuff, so she seems very happy about it.
Any insight as to why it's more busy, or just is?
She and you would kind of agree with it. She thinks it's just because the summer is coming to an end. The weather is getting a little bit colder, so people are not doing as much outdoors, and this is a place that they know they can go to enjoy themselves while being inside, outside of inside, away from the elements.
Makes sense. Yeah, just catching up mostly with mom, telling lots of stories, making sure like what letters got to her, which ones hadn't arrived yet, if any hadn't, just telling her like about the other stuff,
Okay.
anything that's happened since the last one was sent.
All right, Barnabas, what would you have done after the whole uh outing to buy your stuff?
I would immediately go about copying the spells into the book after
Would
getting
you
the
be
material.
up in your room, or would you be out in the bar, still like kind of around people, or what?
I think I would probably be sitting at the bar, and as long as it wasn't like super crowded and noisy, that's probably where he would sit.
Okay. All
Just
right.
because I mean, I doubt there's. I mean, at least in my mind, I'm thinking that there wouldn't necessarily be tables and stuff up in the bedrooms. It'd be mostly for.
No. Yeah.
So
It's very basic. Like there's a bed, a smaller like cot, and then there is just like the necessities.
yeah, so he would be sitting at
Okay.
a table.
Just hearing between both of you, go ahead and roll perception checks. I'll say Oliver, since you're actively talking to people, you could do it with advantage.
Yay! Can I roll above a 10?
Barnabas can. Both of you can. Okay. Um. So, you do both hear rumors. Barnabas, which you have already heard some of, the dragon, but there are differing, conflicting rumors going around. Um. You both would know that if it was such a young dragon that the original people who heard were saying, it wouldn't probably have any effect on the weather. So you're assuming either the storm was a coincidence and it was a young dragon, or maybe they were wrong and it wasn't a young dragon and it was more powerful, older, and that's why the storm was following it. But you do get a bit of clarity on that you either believe it was young and the storm was coincidence, or it was not young. Um, you hear other rumors of people who have traveled from all around different parts of the country. Uh, there are there have been many people down south who have been coming and going from the Feywild. Uh, it's been there's been there's been a lot of work given to people that would make them go back and forth. Like I said, Oliver, for example, your father was sent to gather
Yes.
herbs and such. Uh, you do know that it is a pretty common job, but it's been happening more often lately. You're not sure what's going on, if like there's been new discoveries made in alchemy, but it seems like a lot of people are requesting ingredients from the Feywild. Um, Apparently it is very good pay for the people who bring it back as well. Uh, and again, you do hear more stories about up to the north, the Cliffkeep Mountains, where one side of it is being plagued by cultists, and the other side is being plagued by a giant clan, and it sounds like it's getting worse up there as time passes. Um, but yeah, you are hearing some rumors from all around, but it's nothing concrete. It is just rumors, so you're not sure exactly what to believe.
Okay. Oliver would keep it to himself for now until everyone's back together.
So Geckel, were you planning on going out and searching for a fight?
Yes, I was planning on going to the casinos to see if I can use my moniker from Wildmount to get a fight there.
Okay. I will say that Oliver would be able to tell you, like, uh, I don't think it has it completely listed. So I will say there are.
Are you
Yeah, there
looking?
are. Well,
You
I'm
said
looking to see how many casinos there are, but I think it's just 2.
there are at least 3.
Is
I
it
was just
3?
reading up on that the other day because there are.
It is the Wishing Well and the Dragon's Hoard. I see.
Yeah, it's the Wishing Well, the Dragon's Hoard, and jeez, give me a second. I'll find the third one. I have it here
Oh,
somewhere.
give me 1 second. I gotta answer this phone real quick.
Yep.
So I assume I didn't miss too much.
No, mostly just we heard some rumors, mostly about stuff we already knew about for adventuring. Alba got a circlet of blasting.
Oh, cool.
So now they can do Wonder Twins, where she can cast it out of her circlet, and then Barnabas can just cast the spell because he has that spell.
And
Yep.
I am back.
All right.
Okay. I'm on page 5. There we are. So there are 3. There is the Dragon's Hoard, there is the Wishing Well, and there is the one that was founded by the Maiden's Wish.
All right. Well, just because that one is not any sort of Thieves Guild related, I will say
Yep.
that is the nicest one, the most upstanding one.
That's the one that's run by the Margraves family.
Yes. Okay. So, Geckel, you would, just from talking to Oliver, you would know that the Dragon's Horde is not very accepting of people. From what Oliver knows of it, it's really not much of a casino, more of just a blatant front for the Myriad. It's like people know what it is, but they just stay out of the way because it's not worth dying for. So your best bet would probably be the Wishing Well, which is involved with the class, but is still a legitimate casino. Because the ones at the what is the Maiden's Wish?
Yes.
The ones at the Maiden's Wish is invite only. You don't get to go there and say who you are.
Perfect. I will go to the Wishing Well.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get in, no problem. Walking around for a few minutes, you do see that they have a bit of a there's a room sectioned off that has a bit of a pit in it where people can sit up in some stands and watch the fights going on. At this time, there are not any going on, but you do see people who are just walking around the area, cleaning up here and there.
Excuse me. Who would I need to talk to about possibly fighting?
One of the workers kind of looks up at you and goes, let me see who's working right now. And he kind of looks over your shoulder and points, and there is a very tall, gray-skinned humanoid. You fought enough. You would recognize it as him as a Goliath. And he points to him. He goes, "If you're looking to about the fight, talk to Rufus."
Thank you.
He nods and just continues cleaning.
And I'll head over to Rufus.
Okay. As you approach, you're a big creature. He is bigger. He's about 7.5 feet tall. Very muscular. He has a a long sword slung over his back, which is all strange considering that he's wearing very nice clothing at the same time. No armor, nothing like that on. It's pretty much just his sword and then like formal attire. And as you're approaching, he kind of like stands up as straight as possible, like fixes his posture to look as big and intimidating as possible. And as you approach, he just kind of nods at you and, you need something?
Yes. I used to take part in little arenas like this in Wildmount. I was looking to see if there was anything available today or tomorrow.
Wildmount, you say? Haven't been there in quite a few years. Where'd you fight?
I fought on the coast, the Empire, and in the Dynasty.
Bit of a traveler, are you? Uh, let's see. We don't have any fights going on tonight, but there were a few possibilities for tomorrow. What are you looking to do? Kill or just spar?
I'm willing to do most fights, but if I can not kill, that would be preferable.
Well, a bit of a. We may have some. What he looks at it and he kind of goes, I know most people are probably don't like me asking this question, but be honest with me. What's your skill level? Are you good? Are you just looking to make some coin and figure this is your best chance?
Both.
Great. Well, how about this? You come back here tomorrow night. There may be some fights. There may not. I can't make a promise. But if there are people wanting to fight, I'll get you in touch with them. You can see if you could come to terms for a fight, and we'll see if we can all get paid.
Very well. Thank you for your time.
He just nods and goes about walking around, just kind of scanning the area.
Oh, I should probably give you the handle I used whilst in Wildmount, correct?
He goes, you could give me whatever name you wish. If you don't want to be who you were in Wildmount, that's fine.
No, I don't mind, but it's better to have some consistency. I went by the moniker because obviously Dragonborn of a brave man of the dragon.
I'll do my best to remember it, but you'll most likely have to remind me tomorrow.
Very well, thank you.
He just nods again and heads on off.
Yeah, I'll head on off for the day. Like I said, I've set my stuff up for possibly tomorrow.
Okay. So what does everyone else want to do for the rest of this day?
It's gonna see about meeting back up and dividing some shares.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's do that then. We'll say you all once again meet up at the tavern at the what respite?
The Wayfarer's Respite.
The Wayfarer's Respite. You all meet back up. It is getting to be busier later on in the night. The music is beginning to pick up. Everyone's having a good time. So, what do you guys want to do?
Fellows, I believe we have a few things still to divide up. I was able to sell a few things, and here's 19 more gold for all of you.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thanks.
of course, we still have these potions. I'm sure, Geckle, sure you wouldn't mind potion of growth.
I wouldn't mind, but we don't need to hand it over just yet.
Very well. I'm going to assume. No, I shouldn't assume. We do have this and potion to enhance spell work.
Enhance how?
You'd have to ask Barnabas on that. He's the one that identified it.
Does Barnabas remember what I told him it does?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
Basically,
Maximizes
it
your
will.
dice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're rolling dice for damage after a spell, it'll last for 10 minutes once you drink it. Over the next 10 minutes, the first damaging spell you cast will be max damage. There's no roll that has to be done.
Yeah.
It sounds like it would probably be best for Barnabas then.
Very well, Barnabas. And we have
Give it to the one who knows how to heal. I don't particularly like potions myself. They upset my stomach.
clarification. Does it have to be damage, or can it work on healing
Oh,
stuff?
to be damage.
Has to be damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Barnabas, I think this is best suited for you.
He just sighs and takes it.
And then, of course, we have some healing potions available. It's good to possibly spread this out in case some of us go down.
Yeah, wouldn't mind one for myself, just in case.
Very good. Perhaps the greater for you.
Oh, most excellent. Thank you.
Yes, and then the others.
Sure, I can.
There are 4 altogether, right? Of the healing potions.
Yep, 3 regular,
Yeah,
1
yep.
greater.
Yep, I just gave greater to Alba. So
I'll go without. I can use magic for that if I have to.
Yeah, I'll take a regular.
very well. Geckle, here's a regular healing potion, and I'll hold on to the other, I suppose. No, yes. I'll hold on to the other one, yes.
So, anything else anyone wants to do, or is it bedtime again?
Oliver would at least communicate to the others now that everyone's together the different things he heard in town, since normally everyone's having to tell him about rumors about, the cult to the north again, as well as the giants to the north again, and of a lot of people traveling to Singorn to go to the Feywild.
It's in the direction of Singorn. There's
In the
not
direction of
an
Singorn.
actual rift in Singorn itself. There are rifts in the forest surrounding it, but yeah.
Okay, so in the going to the Verdant Expanse then.
Yes.
Well, seems there's quite a bit of news, but still. If need be, we can discuss a little tomorrow, but when we head out, I still would like to head toward Iman if we could.
Yeah,
I have no problem with that.
everyone seemed fine with it before.
Very good.
And maybe about halfway through the night, after a bit of the music finishes, Oliver, your mother comes and sits down with you, takes a bit of a break from playing, and kind of
Oh.
just talks back and forth about what's been going on, how have you been, that kind of stuff, and asks you if you need, is there anything that I could do to help?
I don't think so, Mom. Got. I mean, I I don't. Just try to make sure there's space if we come through again, but I don't know when that would be.
Uh, okay. I will. Well, if need be, I can always make a bit of room in our place, and it won't be comfortable, but everyone would be able to fit if it was a last resort.
Thanks, Mom. I I'm still just really happy to see you.
Me too, child. Is this going to be your last night here?
I Oliver will look at the others.
Well, I think we have possibly one more night, but depends on tomorrow. I believe if Geckel had something he needed to take care of, and depends on what happens then.
Yes, I have arranged to fight at the wishing well.
She nods and she goes, "Oh, I haven't been to see fights in quite a while. I usually work when they happen. Best of luck to you."
You should
Thank you.
try to come, Mom. Geckel's really amazing.
I'm sure he is. I don't know if we'll have anyone else to cover uh, my position though. If I can make it, I will certainly be there.
All right.
So now, do you all have plans for when you leave, Kymal?
I think we're just heading up to Amon. Um, Rothgar wanted to go that way, and that, from what I heard from the Margrave in Westron, there might be some leads about Dad out there too. So, yeah,
In Iman?
yeah. The people who hired him last lived out there, at least according to the Margrave. So, it might be worth knowing. At least he must have gone back there afterwards, right? They're probably the best bet on finding out.
I I would, yes, that would make sense. Do you know how long he's been gone on this journey?
I don't. The Margrave's last information was about 3 years ago, so it's the best lead I have, though.
Hmm. Do you know what he was supposed to do?
Uh, From what the Margrave's letter said that he went towards Singorn to travel into the Feywild after something, but um, that was the last he had heard of it. So
Barnabas, real quick. Do a history check. uh, you've been around a long time. You've studied it enough. You know time is strange in the Feywild. Um, there could be a time where someone goes and what they think is 10 minutes, they come back and it's been 20 years. Or there are other times where someone goes and they grow older, and when they come back, minutes have only passed on this side. So it's a possibility that something like that may have happened, but you can never be sure. It's too chaotic to know. But you do think that is a possibility, that why there's such a time discrepancy.
Yeah, I will explain that.
Oliver's expression at least would fall briefly, then brighten back up and be like, well, either way, if he's come out already, then there would be news in Amon from him returning after to get paid for the job with the others. So it still makes sense to start there.
I agree completely. Well,
That's good to know, though.
I should get back up and continue playing. I've been making much more money recently than I have in the past, so might as well do it while I can.
Right. Good luck.
Uh, Yes, make sure you come see me before you go to bed, just to say goodnight. Other than
Yeah.
that, everyone enjoy.
All right.
Then she leans down,
Mm.
kisses the top of your head, and heads back to play.
Oliver blushes, but also smiles.
Eh,
Oh, it seems you had a nice upbringing here.
Mom's really great. I mean, she pretty much brought me up by herself here, so it can't have been easy.
Kudos for having a living relative in a D&D game.
Yeah, I did that once in one of Matt's games, and he turned my dead parent into a fucking vampire.
Look,
awesome.
I didn't
I mean,
say that. I was
intent
I was a very nice person, but
I was forcible about mom being alive, but I mean, you have full reign on dad and what's going on
Mhm.
there. So
Yep.
I wonder.
Barnabas has a son who should
you,
technically still be alive.
oh God, that would be an
Yep.
interesting conversation.
And I didn't actually figure. I didn't put in. I mean, he might when you called him a grandpa, he might actually be a grandpa. I didn't actually go any further than just his son.
Oh no.
I've got nothing to worry about. Everyone I know is in a different continent.
And possibly dead.
But Barnabas's wife is dead,
Hmm
but she died of old age. Nothing terrible. She wasn't murdered or anything crazy. She was just old because he's old.
hmm
Yep.
I mean, because his son has
Uh,
got to be in his like 60s or 70s. So
You could even be a great grandpappy.
yeah, this is true.
that you could.
I'm sure everyone's family will be just fine. There's nothing to worry about.
I'm
Oh.
sure. You know
Well,
what?
and that game Tara had like like
Oh yeah,
like,
she had like 19 family siblings.
That
got
was fun.
all these siblings and yep, good stuff. They were all alive though. I did not kill any of them. So
Yay.
So,
Uh,
the night is getting close to. It's getting very late. Getting close to midnight. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before they go to sleep?
mm, nope.
No, I was just drinking in before bed.
Okay.
Alba would just be sharing her new circlet with Barnabas, very excited.
and Barnabas would be testing out one of his new spells because he casts his ritual. He's going to cast Unseen Servant and then make his servant pour him drinks.
Oh my goodness.
It works.
It's invisible though, so it would
Ow.
just be a floating mug.
Yep.
Oliver is incredibly impressed and deeply entertained.
That's quite a good spell you have there. What else can they do?
That's not a whole lot. They can be used as maids, and they can clean things up, and they can serve food, and they can pour wine, and do your laundry, and light fires. But you know, they're
But not a whole lot.
well, not anything. It's much more of a when you're feeling lazy, you can make this thing do it for you. It's not. It doesn't do anything that you couldn't do yourself if you just, as I said, weren't lazy.
I see. I see.
One person doing the work of two sounds pretty impressive to me.
And as it is getting late, everyone go ahead and make one before bed. One last perception check.
I'm all about the 16. Now understand wisdom. 16, 16, 16, 16.
All right. Both Rathgar and Barnabas notice a somewhat shady figure walking around the bar, talking to people, whispering things in people's ears, and occasionally exchanging some coin for small pouches of something.
Barnabas is immediately intrigued. Is this man selling weed?
He seems to be selling something illegal, but you're not sure exactly what it is.
Oh, you're still on that same page in that book, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Seems we have a fellow who's passing something about there. Should we go talk to him?
Can't hurt to see what he's all about. Might be selling something interesting.
Very good. Yes. Leaf will head over that way then. Oh, I suppose I should not look so intimidating. 1 sec. I'll disguise self. Just look like just a half orc. Just kind of a simple half orc.
Uh, he notices you two approaching and kind of just looks around, looks to a door on the side of the tavern and nods towards it with his head, and he walks out the door.
Shall we follow?
Where are you guys going?
He's Barnabas sort of just waves at you like, "We got this. Go away."
Oh, okay.
But he's like, "Well,
Oh,
be prepared because, of course, there's a possibility that he will attempt to stab us as we walk outside."
It'll be no problem. Uh, let's go.
We will go outside.
As you go out, you see maybe 20 feet away, the figure go into an alley and kind of just lean his head out and give you a bit of a in motions for you to come over.
Shall head that way.
I have some really, I feel like, would be very useful unprepared spells. So yeah, we'll head over.
All right. You get there, and he is in the alleyway alone. He looks between the two of you, and just, all right. What are you looking for?
We're sort of new in town, and just wondering what it is that you might be willing to sell us.
Yes, any sort of goods or possibly even information.
Right. Well, I got Zeal and Sood.
Do we know what those are?
Those
I
are
will
some
say
nice
both of you,
drugs.
both of you do know what Sood is. You can both roll history checks, or yeah, history checks to see if you know what Zeal is. Barnabas, you do. Rothgar, you both, yeah, you both know exactly what both of them are. Zeal is made from blood of captured or killed Quagoth. And Sood is granular substance made from residuum. They both are very, very dangerous, but both very strong narcotics that can also give you some benefits if you are able to withstand the toxins.
Barnabas wants to buy both. How much?
Okay. The Zeal is 150 gold per dose, and the Sood is 80 gold per dose. There are different types of Sood as well. There is
Perhaps,
brown, blue, and red for the Sood.
perhaps I could interest you in a trade as well.
He immediately shakes his head and goes, oh, I deal in gold. I have nothing, no use for anything else.
Even if it would help you move your product.
I have no problem moving it. Been doing it for years. I just need the gold.
Very well.
All right, what was the first one? What was it called? The 150 gold. What was it called?
Zeal. Basically, you can drink it or apply it to your skin. You need to make a DC 12 Constitution save, or you get paralyzed for a certain amount of time. If you succeed, you will deal an additional 3 damage to any target you hit with a melee attack for 2d6 rounds. And when it is all said and done, you will suffer 1 point of exhaustion.
All right, well, he doesn't want that.
Okay. Well, for the Sood, the 3 choices, like I said, are brown, blue, and red. It pretty much when you take Sood, if you make the saving throw, you get a sorcerer point, and you can use meta magic depending on the color. The brown will grant you the extended spell. The blue will grant you a twin spell, and the red will grant you a distant spell.
Blue, twin spell.
Okay, that would be 80 gold.
All right, he will hand over 80 gold.
Okay. He hands you a very small pouch. You can open it, and it looks very fine powder with it's mainly white, but it has specks of arcane shimmering blue in it as well.
How do you spell that?
Sood is Suude.
Lusude.
And it will you know what, I will put this all right into Discord.
Oh, cool.
Snip. Be that. I should be able to paste it right there.
As a reminder, Barnabas, it looks like you only get 1 sorcery point from taking it, which means you can only twin a first level spell.
Well, I only have first and second level spells right now, so.
True.
You know what? Just thinking of that, I will say, just because I think this will be hilarious, if you decide to, you could take 2 and get 2 sorcerer points.
I
But
think
the
that's
DC,
how it's supposed to work.
well, the DC, the DC is going to increase by 2 every time you take an additional. So it will turn to a DC 12. If you wanted 3, it would be DC 14.
Yeah, I think he's good with what he's got.
Okay.
Yep, and I'm not going to bother with any of that stuff.
You guys do it, and as quickly as you guys got there to buy it, he has turned, walked, and exited the other side of the alleyway.
Well, that went all right, I suppose.
Oh, he didn't try to stab us.
Yes.
So you, with your newly acquired Sood, Barnabas, you guys go back into the tavern. It is very late. People are starting to clear out. What are you all doing? I believe Alba said she was going up to bed.
Yep.
I can do the same, I suppose.
Alcohol and bed.
Oliver will go over to Mom, let her know that he's going up and that he'll still be up when she gets done, and go upstairs.
You know, she usually finishes playing maybe at 1-ish, so she maybe has a little bit more or a little less than an hour left. But yeah, everyone else up to bed.
Okay. Manages to stay awake.
Everyone else up to bed. No issues. Rothgar, I'm assuming, standard alarm and everything.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So everyone gets a long rest. Uh, everyone wakes up in the morning, and there's a bit of commotion going on outside. Um, a lot of foot traffic, especially for this early on in the day, and a lot of guards moving around as well.
Mm, we can notice this from our rooms.
You notice it once you get downstairs, and you can see out the windows.
Okay.
Nip outside?
Yes.
Yeah, last time I'm going to nip outside.
Yep, I gotta get ready and then head out as well.
Oliver would still be plain clothesing it. But yeah, he would pop outside with just the horn and the. I think that's pretty much the only equipment, that and his common clothes.
All right. As you all get outside, looking around, just taking in your surroundings, you notice that it's mostly guards going into the casino district, while there are non-guards, just regular people coming away from it.
I'll call out to one of the people leaving. Excuse me, what's happening?
Roll a persuasion to see if they would even stop.
Jeez.
You think you hear someone say something about uh, disgusting, but they don't really stop and they just keep going.
Well, I didn't get much information. Do we wish to see
Uh,
what's happening?
Oliver's absolutely going to try to flag someone down, maybe someone he like recognizes at all. If he sees anyone like that, just be like, "What's all the
Roll
commotion
perception.
about?" Yay, perception, because those have been so good tonight.
You got to break the streak eventually. I'll say you see someone that you recognize. You don't really know them. It's just a one of the people who owns like one of the local, like, not really a restaurant or anything, just like a place where people go to buy meals. There's no real sitting down. It's just like kind of like a to-go food place.
Like a food stand.
Yeah, and you see him. He's not like running like for his life. He's just trying to quickly get out of the area. As you flag him down, he kind of comes over and kind of he's looking around, kind of in shock, amazement, kind of like at everyone kind of freaking out, and he kind of just looks around. He goes, "Yeah,
What's going on?
I didn't see it myself, but apparently someone's been killed."
Where?
I don't know. One of the casinos, they were saying something about someone's head being left on the door.
Thank you. Thanks. Oliver's going to go back to anyone he can grab from the party and relay this information to them quickly.
That's
And Oliver, I mean, it's shocking because, I mean, while there is still crime in the city, murders don't really happen here all that often anymore. So it is a bit concerning. It's out of the ordinary. But
Mhm.
I mean, you do
Bit-
also know there are two very powerful gangs, guilds that dislike each other immensely,
Yeah,
who are in close proximity. So, I mean, you kind of
myriad.
understand what may be happening, but it is still a murder.
It's it's unusual, but it's not unheard of.
certainly not that unusual, although I may just be thinking of before Kymal, not current Kymal.
Less common now, but still, usually the Clasp and the Myriad kind of keep their business to themselves. So if it's them, it's kind of a little weird.
See,
I don't believe it is something we should involve ourselves in.
I would agree with that. Unless someone wants to pay us, I say we let the authorities deal with it and go about heading to Iman.
Sounds fine to me.
I have something planned for tonight, if you don't mind holding off another day.
They did say that it happened at one of the casinos. I don't know which one, but you might want to go early just to make sure.
Well, hopefully it should have cleared up in a few hours' time.
Right.
well, still, maybe we should check that out, at least to see what casino it was at.
Sure, why not?
So, do you want to only check the one that you're supposed to be fighting at, or are you going to check all of them? Because the one you're supposed to be fighting at is probably the second. It's in the middle. The closest one would be the Dragon's Horde, then it would be the Wishing Well, then it would be the Maiden's Wish.
Maiden's Wish, yes.
I'll just check out the Wishing Well.
All right. When you get there, there are guards around the entrance. And you don't see a head, but you do see a gash in the door that looks like someone may have taken either a dagger or a short sword and stuck it into it. Which, I mean, they did say there was a head on the door, so you're assuming they might have pinned it with that. No head in sight, but there is a lot of blood there, and it does appear to be closed down at the moment. Like they're not letting anyone into the building.
I'll walk up to the guards, not like to within a feet of them, but I'll close the distance.
Well, there are guards who are actively guarding at the doors and like searching around, and then there are ones who have set up a bit of a perimeter around as well.
I'll head to the perimeter guards then.
As you approach, I mean, they do have weapons drawn. They're not like brandishing them at you, but they do have them already in hand.
Hello, if you don't mind me asking, do you know how long the casino will be closed for?
Can't really say. Don't know who. Don't know how long it'll take to gather any bit of evidence. Don't know who's going to be running the place now.
No.
Yeah. And he kind of stops talking and yes, just
Shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
yeah. And he goes, off with you now.
Oh, sorry, I had a fight scheduled here tonight, so I was just curious.
Likely won't be open tonight, but we'll be working as fast as we can.
Ah, thank you. Then we'll head off.
So you head back to the group. Yeah, you are all gathered in the middle of a street of Kymal. It is starting to be very, very barren at the time. There are not many people. Well, there's actually not any people traveling around in the immediate area.
Sounds like a job for Barney and Alba, detectives.
There you go.
Well, it seems I won't be getting my fight this evening.
That was very unfortunate. Did you at least hear who was killed or what happened?
Apparently they let slip it was the owner who had their head pinned to the door with a knife.
Would I know
Oliver,
anything
roll
about
a
the owner?
history check. With advantage, since it's your home. You could just roll another one. Okay. You just from what he said, I'll say that you guys all were kind of there and you all heard what he said. When he said who's going to be in charge, you don't believe it would be the manager, you kind of, or the owner. It would probably be someone who was just managing the area. It wouldn't have been, the owner would not be there really spending his time there. He has people who do that for him.
It's probably not the actual owner of it. I can't imagine that the clasp has whoever owns the facility here, but a manager, someone important at least, or just a front person.
Well, if our fantastic detectives wish to offer their services to the guard, we could certainly stay.
I mean, the clasp aren't exactly friendly, but they're better than the myriad.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on getting mixed up in the clasp versus myriad mess. What do you think, Barnabas? Have things been less messy since I've been gone?
Oh, I don't remember. But I would say that, considering we're just getting our guild or group off the ground here, we're making a name for ourselves. Making a bit of coin is not necessarily a bad thing, and if we make enemies, well, that's just adds to the fun, doesn't it?
Now that's a true adventure there. True adventure is always going to have enemies in the end. Why
Indeed.
not stick our noses in it?
But of course, for the possibility of creating enemies, I would say we would need to be generously compensated. So if the pay is not there, then we should just politely decline and go about our business.
Oh, of
We
course.
could always go talk to Margrave Jactur. If they do need help, they might be offering another reward. And if they don't want it, then it might be best to keep our noses out of it anyway.
Might as well. And then I suppose make a appointment with him, I suppose. Might want to see him ASAP to make said appointment.
Yes, good point. Good point.
Well, real quick, as you are all having this discussion, you notice in handfuls the guards are beginning to leave the area.
Oliver, do you recognize any of them willing to talk?
Good question.
When they're in their full attire, like actual guard uniform, can't really tell the difference between them. Many of them, they have helmets and such. But looking around, you do notice that their position has been taken over by maybe 10 to 12 humanoids who are all donned in black or dark gray cloaks. You can see whether it be short swords, rapiers, daggers at their sides, and they seem to be looking around, coming and going from the wishing well. Just they seem to be in control of the area now.
I
Um,
Interesting.
don't, but I am pretty sure that we should move along here quickly.
Well, why don't I go ask them if they want some help with some money?
Uh, I I'm not sure I'd want to be asking them about getting paid.
Well, if you wish to ask, I certainly don't mind standing behind his muscle.
Well, why not? Let's just go see if they have any reward for help. Might as well get the wizard some more gold.
So who wants to approach?
Yeah, Alba will just go up and in Thieves' Can't be like,
Oliver will follow from a relatively safe distance, reluctantly.
Gecko's behind her.
yeah, in Thieves' Can't she'll just be, we are a guild looking for aid in order to help you find out what happened if you'd like.
And pretty much in unison, all of them stop what they're doing and kind of look at you. And then within a second, 11 of them go back to work and one walks up approaching you. He appears to be it's very, very close to human color in his skin, but you can see underneath his hood there are two small horns, and there is a bit of a bluish tint to his skin. So he is a tiefling, uh, and he just approaches and responds in Thieves' Cant. We don't need anyone fighting our battles for us. We already know who did this.
No, that's lovely. And she responds in also in Thief Gant and is just like, just figured I would offer any assistance if you'd like. Can't resist that gold. And one other thing that I do have for you and your group, and she pulls out that old note. It's like, I found this in some pockets of clothes on the bridge. And she just hands it to him and is like, um, eh, that bridge that was controlled by bandits and the Minotaur. I figured note belongs to you guys. Might as well return it.
He kind of looks at you quizzically and takes the note, goes over it, like scans over it rather quickly, and he goes, "Left a few weeks ago, huh? Well, it is much appreciated that you have returned this."
Of course. Good day to you.
Wait. Where where will you be heading when you leave here? Are you
Towards Amon.
Yes. Well, and he kind of looks at you up and down, and he goes, "Can any of them understand what we are saying?"
Not at all.
Right.
As if to emphasize, like, Oliver is clearly, like, trying to listen. His face is visibly, like, screwed up, trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about.
He kind of has a bit of a smile on his face, and he goes, "Are you part of any guild? I know you say you have these with you, but real thieves guild."
Myself, no. Just
Uh,
learned the tricks of the trade when I was much younger.
he kind of looks a little bit confused. He goes, "Still look rather young to me, but you have done us a bit of a favor. Tell me, what do you know of the Myriad?"
Not terribly much, I admit. I mean, I know of them, given my background, but I know that your relationship with them is not that great.
This is very true. Well, I believe you have earned a bit of trust. If I give you a letter, can you deliver it into Iban for me, to
Oh,
a member of the guild, the clasp there?
yes, I can do that.
Now, I will need to know who you are, just in case anything funny happens to this letter on its way.
Of course, I am Alba of the Gilded Blade.
Well, give me one moment. And he pulls out a piece of paper and jots down a bit of a note, and he puts it in an envelope, closes it, and he says some form of, actually, Oliver, you would understand this. He speaks in Abyssal.
Yes, I would know that.
Just doing a small incantation, and his a ring of his lights up a bit, and he presses it to the letter, it like pretty much sealing it, and it is sealed not with like wax or anything, but just with it looks like it's magically sealed with a symbol of the clasp. And he looks at you and he goes, I will know if the seal is broken. You have earned a bit of trust, but just know that if you do anything to squander it, no matter how nice you are and quite pretty, we will kill you.
Oh, that's fine and completely understandable. To whom may I be delivering this letter? And also, is there anything that I should say so that your members know that I am safe?
Have to worry about them trusting you. You will have this letter, and as long as it is unopened, they will have no reason to distrust you. As far as who, why do you not? Why not just go to the southern end of Iman? I'm sure you'll see some interesting things on the walls, and you'll be able to find your way.
Perfect. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Please make use of it. If you all prove worthy, there may be some collaborations we can do in the future.
Perfect. Sounds amazing.
But as for now, I must get back to work. They have been doing many things to make us look bad across the entire continent. So we must clean up again.
Good luck.
He nods.
She just turns to the others and is super giddy. Finally, we use thieves' cant for something fun.
Barnabas also speaks Abyssal.
Wait,
Yeah, like I don't
I
know
was gonna say,
exactly what he would
I
have
don't-
said. It was yeah.
I don't speak Abyssal, actually. I speak Infernal. So,
Oh, okay. I thought Abyssal was
my bad.
for Tiefling.
Yeah, tieflings are
Elves.
infernal.
Devils.
Infernal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Barnabas, it was like arcane in Abyssal at that, so it was mostly just an incantation. It was some mixture between like heat metal and sending. It was just something to mark the letter so he would know if it was opened.
Gotcha. Because Abyssal's what he yelled at the
Yes. Okay. Yes, you're right.
the Minotaur.
Okay. So, you know what? You know why I was thinking of Abyssal? Because of the journal from last time we played.
Yep.
All right.
I'm waiting to see that book that's in Infernal.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys are pretty sure there will be no fighting here tonight, unfortunately. Geckel, do a perception check one last time as you guys are leaving.
I'm gonna roll low.
You see a couple of them who are over by the door, and as they are picking up some of the stuff that's around there, you see them start picking up cloth, and falling out from it is the head of Rufus.
Lovely.
And it appears that his mouth was opened and they stuck a sword through it and pinned it to the door.
What charming people.
Rufus was the Goliath or the other guy?
The Goliath. He was the one who was kind of like managing the floor. So you do know who was killed, which to you, just having seen him, is kind of impressive with how capable he looked.
Well, luck's one thing.
Very true. Very true. But you guys are not forced to leave the area, but uh, they do kind of start making a wider perimeter to kind of make sure no one comes close again.
We should head back to the Wayfarers.
Very well.
Yeah, that sounds fine with me. And she'll tuck the letter in some safe pocket.
Well, as I don't seem to have any business here tonight, we could look into trying to find an escort gig to Imon.
That sounds
Uh,
fine with me.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they didn't want any help, Alba?
Nope, not at all. Not with this, at least. I get to deliver a letter, which is very fun.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
And just so you know, Tara, I will have a letter ready for you for next week in case you decide to open it. Completely up to you, but I will have something prepared just in case.
Okay, she will not, but you can prepare if you want.
Always prepare.
We have at
So,
least one member of the party who's a bit light-fingered. Probably good to be ready.
all right. So
yeah.
you guys head back to the tavern. Um, as you get there, your mother kind of, what's all the commotion?
There was some trouble down at the Wishing Well. Uh, it looks like it was probably Clasp and Myriad.
Best to stay far away from those two groups. It's nothing but chaos and war.
Yeah. Um. So since the Wishing Well's not going to be open for business for a bit, um, we should probably get headed to Amman then.
Very good. Um, well, I look forward to still receiving your letters. Please be safe. All of you, please keep him safe.
You too, Mom.
And we
I'll be
always
fine
will.
here. Thank you, dear. Well, I'm going to go back upstairs and get a bit more rest before the day starts. So,
I'll come up too. I've got to gather up my stuff.
very good. Well, it was a pleasure to have you all here for the past few days. Uh, safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And she heads on upstairs.
Oliver will follow pretty much right after to go get his things.
Okay.
And while I'm up there, how close is Mom paying attention?
She is like doing a few things. She's making herself some tea. She is reading a bit of a book at the same time, so she's not completely paying attention.
All right. Oliver will gather up all his stuff and things, and he is going to get it all, get it together, say goodbyes, stuff like that, and do his best to leave without taking his leaving behind some of his money in an inconspicuous location.
Nice.
All right. So go ahead and roll first. First of all, roll a deception to see if you could get her to not pay attention.
I'm still passable at this.
Mhm.
Not when I crit fail.
Yeah. So I was going to either give you advantage or just let you roll straight, but since you rolled a 1 and I think it's awesome, you're gonna have disadvantage on your stealth or sleight of hand check.
Fine. That's fine. I'm way worse at that, but I can't do too much worse.
10. Okay. Um, let's see. I'll just roll a straight d20 for your mother.
I trust her to have high perception and insight.
Nah, she is too wrapped up in her book. It must be a very good one. So she does not notice you leaving. How much gold?
I am leaving all the gold pieces I have. I'm just keeping my platinum. So that is 302 gold.
A big pile that you left somewhere, but yes, sure.
Wow.
She does not
okay.
notice.
Okay.
Better hope Barnabas doesn't notice.
Goodbyes, all that stuff. Go back down to the group. A little
Brock
lighter.
runs downstairs like Scooby Doo when the snack comes out. hmm
All right. This is everything.
Everyone is gathering up their belongings easily enough. You guys can get ready to leave. As you guys all start exiting the tavern, Oliver, your mother comes down again, and Oliver, you should stop by the stable. The horses are still here. I think there should be enough for everyone. A bit more of a easy way to get there.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. And just duck right outside.
Okay.
All right.
You guys all well, Oliver, your family, well, you and your mother do have, I'll say, 7 horses that you have, just because, getting from here and there, you do have a cart for when you guys used to have to travel anywhere.
Mhm.
But it seems like she's been staying here mostly, so she has
Mhm.
offered you to have the horses for as you need for now.
Horse and cart. Yay.
You guys can use the cart as well, or you can all just take a horse too.
Barnabas would not want a horse. He will either, when they're traveling from now on, when they're out in the middle of nowhere, he will fly around on his broom. But if they're like in an area where there's people around, he would probably just sit in the cart.
Well, the cart, the thing is, the cart will travel a bit slower, but it would be. I mean, you
So,
still
I
would
guess,
be faster.
I mean, I guess, yeah, it's up to everybody else if they would rather have a horse or a cart. Regardless, he would probably try and ride on, if they were in town or whatever, he would ride on the back of.
Right. It would be, you could either each take a horse, or you could take 3 horses and the cart. The cart, it will still go faster than walking. It's just a bit slower than just having horses running.
See, I think Barnabas is missing a step. He could just literally float around on Tense's floating disc.
That too, because I have that as well. But Barnabas doesn't really want a horse, as what it boils down to. So he can ride on the back of Alba's horse if necessary. I would say he's not a very big man. He weighs 145 pounds.
Or you could just be the Barnabas backpack.
Yeah, and most of the time, like I said, he would be flying around on his broom.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check something real quick to see which Oliver would prefer. Let's see. A horse versus a cart. Oh, he would strongly prefer horses and carts.
With the cart?
I say cart would be best for Barnabas' sake, I suppose.
And Oliver, there is enough room for everyone to sit. There is one seat up front where whoever was controlling the horses would be, and then the area in the back is it's an open cart. It's not covered, so it's kind of just where you would have like pretty much benches built into the sides where everyone could sit.
Yep, super basic.
Yes.
Does it have a cover or no cover?
No cover.
Okay. Yeah, Barnabas doesn't really like animals. That's why he hates that stupid familiar owl, and he doesn't want a horse.
I think the cart better.
So what I'm
Option.
hearing is Barnabas is a serial killer because only serial killers dislike
I know.
animals.
No, I'm just trying to come up with weird quirks for him.
Yeah, no,
So, yeah.
absolutely. I will not drink the potion. It will give me gas.
Yes, it upsets my stomach. All right, fine, I'll take it. So. But he'll take
Mhm.
drugs. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Here, I found this plant that may kill you. Do you want to try smoking it?
Yes, I do.
Here, I found this potion that's made to make you be a more potent spellcaster with no side effects. Do you want it?
Nah, potions make me gassy.
All right.
Well,
So,
and in your other game, my guy, like my character was
yeah,
like,
you're
literally
allergic to it.
to
Yep.
Oh god.
And I think it came pretty close one time to someone almost feeding you one when you were down. I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly, but they would have killed you.
That's
it was fun.
fabulous. I love that.
All right. So, easily enough, you are able to get the cart, get everything set up to leave.
Mhm.
I'll say you guys are at the gate leading out, and that would probably be a good spot to stop for the week since it is 10 o'clock.